Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to Late Night Leos. This is your host, Morgan from THORGECKO. I have my wonderful guest co-host, Jeff Scott. Jeff, you want to say hello real quick?
Hello. How are we doing tonight?
Hopefully we're doing great. Tonight we have BRANYAN MERRITT from Evolving Exotics, who works with exotic animals and has the Evolving Exotics blog talk radio show. BRANYAN, you want to say hello?
Hey guys, what's up?
Hey, so tonight's episode is brought to us by our generous sponsors, Luxurious Leopards, Holly's Homebred Reptiles, Lilith's Leo Lovables, SC Geckos, Desert Snow Gecko, Supreme Gecko, and Lone Star Geckos. So everybody should check them out. They've got some really cool stuff and some awesome projects coming for 2014. So, BRANYAN, you work with a lot of different stuff, and you're really motivated to move into other stuff. So why don't you tell us how you got started and what sparked you into liking reptiles?
There's so many things got me into liking reptiles. Liking is not strong enough of a word. Reptiles, I mean, they're something I've always liked. As a child, I was crazy about dinosaurs. Of course, dinosaurs don't necessarily exist anymore. But once I've gone online and I heard about it on the news one day, very little, about 8 years old, I was like, what is the snakes are talking about that got loose? And I looked it up online. I'm like, holy cow, look at that. One link led to another, to another, to another. And it just kept going on. And eventually I've landed on panther chameleons. Excited about panther chameleons, wanted one so bad. Then I seen someone post an iguana. So I got my first iguana. Had it for a little bit. Eventually I moved up to West Virginia. And like before, I could not take it with me as it was a 10-hour ride. And, the cold, frigid, I necessarily didn't want to take him into that risk. So I got out of reptiles a little bit, started getting back into them, started thinking about them a little bit more, and found the leopard geckos, and that's where it all began. 3 years studying leopard geckos, eventually getting my first one after 3 years studying them. Collection grew to 100-plus geckos, and as a lot of you guys have recently known, I have sold my collection. That was due to moving from Florida back up to West Virginia. I wasn't necessarily taking the risk of hurting any animals in that journey. So I have now rethought my plans of my reptile, my reptile collection hobby, and decided to go with some rarely seen animals. Nothing too big, I know everybody. Once you get your first leopard gecko, it expands into multiple. There's so many different kinds and stuff like that. But like the Europlatus semitai I'm currently getting, they're not as cheap as leopard geckos, or as prolific. So, they're higher up there in the range and isn't something that the average keeper has. So that's something I'm really getting into, something I want. So that's what I'm, currently working with, getting my plans straight for the rarely seen or rare reptiles, amphibians, stuff like that in the hobby that are interesting, me.
Nice. And what's the care on the Europlatus?
Oh man, well, there's so many different subspecies to them. You got the Europlatus sakurae. I'm not the most knowledgeable on these animals. I've had multiple people talk to me about them. But it's kind of like basic care. With these geckos, though, you don't want to go above 84 degrees. That's the highest. I've been told that'll completely kill them. Don't go below 55 is what I've told. So they can get down there, a little bit. No heating, UVB bulbs necessary. Definitely a planted or naturalistic terrarium. I currently just ordered from LL Reptile a 6 foot tall, 2 foot by 2 foot. So it's a big cage, and that's just for a pair of them. like for a pair, I've been told, 18 inches by 18 inches by 18 inches. But I I went all out, and I mean that can hold 1.5. I was told. That's perfectly fine with me. I just wanted a nice setup.
Are they arboreal?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
They're pretty nice. They're not the most let's say tolerable, I've been told, to handle and stuff.
Uh-huh.
I recently, right before moving up here, I got to see some wild caught specimens. And I've just been taken out of Madagascar. And, as wild caught specimens, they were jumpy and didn't want to be taken out, so I'm not going to understand that. I'm told they're not necessarily as jumpy as wild caught animals. They will let you hold them, they just don't want, long periods, because of the stress and stuff like that. So they're not like a leopard gecko. But, they get fairly larger than a leopard gecko. I'm really excited about doing it. It's just been a project that I've always been waiting to get into. And seeing them on the rack auctions, I was like, holy cow, look what's here. And, that was what really sparked me and was able to get my first pair.
Yeah, some of those sites are dangerous. I look at stuff and I'm like, man, those are really neat. No, what's the
Oh, yeah, man, I wasn't letting anybody
everything.
Oh, yeah. I was talking, it was one show you had on, who was it? You had on Travis and,
Jamie Carnes?
What? Yes, you had, yep, Jamie. I called in, they were currently talking about the Galliosaurus. That was another project I'm currently waiting to get onto. The person I'm waiting to get him from, he has eggs in the incubator, and I'm waiting on getting to those. There's actually a few in my waiting list that aren't hatched yet to have on hold from people. Some Europlatus fantasticus.
Yeah,
that's
those
another
are really
Europlatus subspecies. Yes, the satanic leaf-tailed gecko. I have them on hold from Travis. And, oh, man, I've got so much stuff coming, and people will be seeing my collection grow over the next couple months. It won't grow as quickly, like I said, as the leopard geckos. The funds aren't there for me to go out and spend $1,000 on each one of these animals in a week. And just the point that, like I said, they're still incubating. That's kind of like the fun part with the Europlatus as well, is no two ever hatch out the exact same. That's something I'm pretty excited about. Not necessarily the morphs, but the variations in them. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and for the people that don't know what a Europlatus is, what is the common trade name for those?
They're more commonly known as leaf-tailed geckos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most people just call them Europlatus because not each subspecies has its own common name. Like the Europlatus fantasticus, they're more commonly known as the satanic leaf-tailed gecko. But other than that, there's not really any common names to any of the other subspecies. I've heard a few tossed around, but not too many.
Are they mostly from Madagascar? Or?
Yes, they're from Madagascar, and they're
all of them.
Currently, I don't think they're importing anymore. So the ones in captivity now are the last to be able to be bred and to create more. The Europlatus sanitae were actually the only pair offered up this year. So that was a big mess. I did not know that until I contacted Kevin. It was like, hey man, I won this. I want to get them. He's telling me about them. He's like, oh wow, these are the only two offered up, and they're a pair as well. And that kind of struck my interest even more. They will not be able to breed for another 12 months. That's fine with me. They're about three months old now. So he said it does take about 15 to 16 months for these geckos to actually mature sexually to be able to reproduce.
That's still not too long, really.
Not necessarily, and he also said, the thing that makes them even more rare is they don't breed every year.
Biannual?
He said that sometimes, you'll have your female that wants to breed, and other times she just don't want to breed. Or a male that wants to breed, and sometimes he doesn't want to breed. I don't know what's wrong with him, but that's what's going on with these geckos, and what kind of interests me. They're not leopard geckos. Don't get me wrong, guys. I love leopard geckos. but it's just something way different than them, and that's what really sparked my interest.
Yeah, I can relate. I look at all kinds of stuff, and it's like, man, I want some of those.
That's my problem. I look at too much stuff.
GECKOs and what's another big one? You know what I'm talking about, the big ones.
Leachianus?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
I can't wait to those either. Kevin has some eggs incubating now, and I told him, I said, you let me know as soon as they hatch.
Yeah, those
are another ones
really
I really want.
I've seen them at the shows and stuff, and it's like, God, I want those.
I have never seen one at a show down in Florida. Never, ever seen one in person. And the pictures, and, supposedly they're the largest gecko species. And I really love to have those, and I really love to have the smallest gecko species, which is currently I'm not too sure on the...
is it the micro geckos or whatever they are? They're smaller than micro geckos. Holy smokes.
They are a Cuban dwarf gecko.
Oh, okay.
At about adult age, they're about 4 to 5 centimeters.
Wow.
So they're very small, and they range from really light colored to pitch black. That is something, and they surprisingly, the Europlatus, they range depends on wild caught. Let's say you want a captive born pair. For a regular common Europlatus Sakura, they're about I'd say $200 to $250 a piece for males, $300 to $350 for females. You'll rarely ever find them individual females, so most people offer them pairs. You got your Leachianus that are up there as well, but these Cuban dwarf geckos, they're fairly rare, and for their size, they're only $50 a piece. I was like, for being the smallest gecko, and how cool they are, and they're not common at all, very hard to breed, and stuff like that. And I was like, are you sure you're not asking more? He's like, no, he doesn't know anybody else that has them, and things like that. And I'm like, I've been talking to this guy, and he's been telling me all these things about them, and how he got them imported, and all this, and started working with them. And that's pretty cool, and that's what kind of sparked my interest as well. I kind of wanted something different. Also being the smallest gecko, I wanted the largest gecko as well. So that's kind of what I went for, something different than what other people had in their collections.
Yeah, that's always cool to have something unique. You
see something to post on Facebook a little bit different, show up on your timeline.
Yeah, there's so many leopard geckos out there.
Oh yeah.
And I have a whole bunch of them.
I had a whole bunch of them.
Yeah. So you're not going to have not even one favorite little leopard gecko project tucked away.
Oh man, when here we go. Well, I do want. I've been thinking, leopard geckos are common. They're not rarely seen anymore. But I do want a really nice pair. I don't want to get into a huge, big project, but I do want them to be, very high-end animals. Something I can make, get multiple genes out of, create some cool stuff with it. Like I was telling you guys before, the Super Snow Enigma Eclipse crossed to my Max Snow White and Yellow Bell head eclipse. You'd make some pretty cool stuff out of there.
Yeah, you get.
But I want some, albino crosses that are patternless. Once I find something out there that really strikes, my eye, and that's another thing. When it comes to these leopard geckos, it wasn't necessarily the beauty of them that caught my eye; it was the genetics. If you ask anybody, the genetics is what really catches my eye with reptiles. The way that they work and interlock with each other. That's something that sitting at home all day, getting my schoolwork done in 3 days, having the rest of the days of the week to sit here and study these genetics was something that I've always done. That's what I've taught other people they know I haven't bred these geckos or anything. But studying the genetics and how they work was something that other people came to me and asked me about. You guys probably know the old show, Gecko and Radio. Genetics was my big thing on there. I loved genetics. And that's, I taught David Flying Geckos about all the genetics of leopard geckos. That's what, we kind of had projects interlocking with each other and things like that, working with genetics and how they worked. Because it wasn't necessarily to me about producing a cool-looking gecko. Everybody out there, is trying to make a cool-looking gecko. Yes, I wanted my geckos to look cool, but what kind of genes can I put in an animal? What would happen if this gene went to this gene that hasn't been done yet?
That's
or some people kind of skip a generation. They try to, incorporate a super snow eclipse white and yellow. Well, they're shooting for a super snow eclipse, but they don't hatch any out that year. Instead, they hatch out the super snow eclipse white and yellow. Well, what's a super snow eclipse going to look like? They kind of skip that generation of super snow eclipse, and the white and yellow automatically shows up.
Yeah.
So, I kind of want to figure out the genetics of these animals. And with the Europlatus and some of these other gecko species, Leachianus and things like that are rarely worked with and aren't producing the magnitude of these others, like leopard geckos, is, you don't have the genetics there. You have localities and the variations in just the pattern, the variations of the skin and tone color. That's what's really interesting to me. Why aren't genetics locking up with these like it is with leopard geckos?
Yeah, can you line breed them?
Geckos are more prolific, and there's so many people breeding them, you're popping out more genes. You have more of a chance to see more genes interlock and show themselves. But what's it really going to take to hatch out, an albino Leachianus or albino Europlatus? What's it going to do?
That would cause some stir.
Oh, yeah. They'll be looking at me like, why the heck did you bring in morphs into these geckos?
And then a second strain pop up, and then, heads would be spinning.
Oh, yeah. It's not something I'm trying to do is create morphs. I just want to figure out the genetics behind
it works,
and why they aren't working.
Yeah. How you can line patterns up, and that's a long-term project maybe.
Oh yeah, especially Leachianus. When they pair up forever, and you know, you're kind of out of luck if you find out one's a het and one's not, and you're not too good there. So
yeah, well, you have the young.
Yep.
But yeah, no, it sounds interesting. Yeah.
Oh, it is. There's so many things that run through my brain a day. I don't know how it works. Between school and figuring out what I want to do with reptiles, my brain should be overworked, and I feel it needs to be sometimes, but it really hasn't.
Yeah, no. It's always running. I know school bored the heck out of me. That's the best thing. I love school. There's just so many things, and nowadays it's different than school in your generation. And probably.
It's very different, and I love science class, and I get on there and I talk to them about genetics and stuff, and they're like, you know what, we should just have you as a teacher. You can go up there and teach about genetics and what this is, and it's just what I like to do.
Yeah, no, science was always one of my favorites, any of the sciences. And then, it was all textbook learning then. There was nothing really creative, free thinking. It was, by the book.
Yeah.
It's a lot different now. I know I help my kids with their homework. I go, dang, we learn this stuff. And then of course, they had to have a computer to do their homework, and it's like, how did I do it?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't, but
I know what you mean.
So, Branyan, do you see yourself pursuing an education in animal science or biology or anything like that?
that is something that I have thought about. Besides reptiles, my other career choice is definitely aerospace engineering. My brain is always working, like I just said. I love building things, creating things. Aerospace engineering is something that I've really looked into. But being since into reptiles, I have never completely thrown away the idea of doing aerospace engineering.
Yeah.
That is something that I still look forward to doing, going to college for, getting a degree in it. But with reptiles, there is, another degree I'd like to get, some animal science, or something along those lines. There's so many fields out there to do with animals and genetics, biology, that, would work perfectly for me. So that is something that I have looked towards. Being 16, I have 2 more years, schooling left, and then my life isn't over still. I'm one of those kids, like I said, I like school. I'm going to give myself a couple months off before I go into college. Of course, I'm going to be applying for colleges within the next 2 years, things of that nature. And, that's expected of a 16-year-old right in this age. You're expected to go to college and, try to make something of yourself.
Yeah,
so, it is something that, I have looked into. Looked into some different schoolings that offer, some animal science and stuff like that. And being up here back in West Virginia, WVU, West Virginia University, does offer some animal science things and aerospace engineering. The last show before I actually moved that it was with Appalachian Ectotherms. He is up here in West Virginia, not too far away from me, and he went to college to do animal science and stuff like that. He actually has a job of kind of consists of, field herping, going around and, studying the reptiles, amphibians that live in the area, reporting them back, the numbers and stuff that he's finding. That is something that I would definitely be interested in.
Yeah, that always sounded interesting to me, to go and, count turtles or whatever.
Oh, yeah. I'm a very a nature person. I love being out in nature.
Yeah.
Despite the less of a warm climate, year-round I was down in Florida finding alligators, snakes, turtles. One of my greatest discoveries were gopher tortoises. They're not as common as they once were. I've seen a couple down there doing my field herping. That was something that really surprised me, and I was like, man, I really found these things. And sure enough, they were within a vicinity of 100 yards. A football field, these 3 holes. I've seen 3 of them living there, and that was something that I really watched them.
We have those here in well, not up here where I'm at, but the California desert tortoise is basically a gopher tortoise.
Okay.
Yeah, they're really neat. It's like one of my first pets, one of my first reptiles, actually.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, like up here now, you have the cold seasons. You don't get to find reptiles like you did down there. You walk outside and you're finding anoles and house geckos all over everywhere. Up here, today I was out in the woods, plugging my iPod. Let's go out here and just walk around the woods. It's something I'd love to do. Like I said, I'm a nature person. I look down and there's a box turtle shell. It's been a while. He's dead. Just the top, is left, whitened. It's something that I find a lot up here. Living up here, you find box turtles. That's one of your most common reptiles up in West Virginia. Turtle-wise, then, you have your snakes, rattlesnakes, black snakes, garter snakes. But you find, on average, I find about 20 box turtle shells a year. That was something that I collected a lot. Various sizes, different, graduated patterns on these. And that was always something that I had studied. Why is this one, dying at such a young age? Was it because, we had a cold winter, come in quicker than last year? Or, that's something I'm always trying to figure out. And so, yes, to answer your question, Gordon, I would like to go into college in an animal science field.
Yeah, no, that would be, and once you get to college too, you'll start doing different things and may change.
Oh, yeah.
You're 16 now?
Yes.
Well, yeah, God, you sound like you got a good head on your shoulders. You'll do something.
That's what quite a few people would say. Look at him. The projects he's getting into at 16 years old. What the heck is he going to do with our reptiles that we're working with now? And
yeah.
Well,
no,
I don't know.
I was 16. I had all kinds of reptiles, boas and pythons, and then.
See, that's kind of my thing.
Native
I
stuff.
have never really had multiple species.
Yeah.
I had, like I said, all my leopard geckos. I had 5 ball pythons, and that was it. I had a fat tail for a couple months, traded off for more leopard geckos. Then, like I said, the ball pythons were something that my dad really enjoyed. He's wanted to work with Burmese pythons. Living in Florida, you can't get that permit as you used to. So
you gotta
we went into ball pythons.
Florida, huh?
Yeah. But we're back here in West Virginia, so that's going to change.
Yeah.
But it's ball pythons are the next choice, and so many variations of that. Favorites were the recessives. Almost any reptilian morphs, the recessives are my favorite. And ball pythons, there were the clowns, pieds, albinos, genetic stripe, and the axanthic. Something that we tried to incorporate. With that, we had babies and a couple pairs or whatever, and we had eventually sold off those like I did with my leopard geckos, but it's something that we're not going to get back into ball pythons, but we're thinking of something else. Ball pythons were done a lot as well, but we're trying to go on a different line of snakes. What can we do? There's so many different snakes that are rarely seen. Not many as big, as Burmese or something like that. That's always been on the top of my dad's list, though, would be an albino Burmese. He just always wanted one. But with the exotic act they're trying to throw at West Virginia now, that could be changed and, exotic animals won't be allowed in West Virginia.
That's crazy. They're not going to live out there, outside of captivity.
Oh, yeah. There's nothing like this. I don't
know what the problem is.
Yeah. So that's something that now that I'm up here, I can promote a little bit more and just things of that nature. But, that is something that I won't ever have as a large collection of animals, I'd really say, going into different species. Like I said, my main focus is geckos. Some of those rare or rarely seen, like I said, the heron geckos or the Tarantalua annularis. That, like I said, I'm not exactly sure if I pronounced that right. But that there. The Europlatus. I do want the different species of those. There's many different subspecies to the Europlatus sakura, and I do want multiples of those. The top on my list, like I said, the Samatai, they're not rarely seen. So, I kind of got those. Henkalai, those you see often. Sakura, they're often. The Pishmani, you can't find those in the U.S. anywhere. And if you do, breeders don't have enough quantity that they want to send out because they want to grow their collections as well. So that is something on my top of the list that, I've seen people post them, but they're in the UK and stuff, and they're not willing to ship or import to the U.S. That's kind of at a loss right now, but they're, I've got these ones in the U.S. right now that I can expand into.
On the Saharan, are those are, and you got to keep those warmer? It's a different care thing?
Oh, yeah.
Than Europe?
basically, Jordan was telling me, it's about 90 degrees, down to about 85, 82 at night. They do, some people, you mentioned sand on Facebook with a gecko, and there's like jumping on you and being like, oh man, your gecko's going to get impacted, and like use newspaper, tile, repti carpet, whatever. Don't use sand. But these actually prefer sand. They are a sand gecko. It is not like a leopard gecko where, a lot of people think they are a desert animal, but they live on the plateaus and, things of that nature up in the rocky places. So they're not always ingesting that sand. Of course, any animal is going to ingest some sort of particle that is not supposed to be inside them. But with these Saharan geckos, I've been reading on them, and the sand actually benefits them. It grinds down the food inside of them.
It's kind of like gizzards.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And,
the Sahara's the biggest sandbox in the world.
Oh, yeah. They are an arboreal gecko. They're not too much, not as much as a Europlatus, but they do like to climb. But they do require, sand and rocky places. So that's going to be different. They do not like to be handled as much either. They're a chubby little gecko. They look like a mini Leachianus. To be honest, that's what they look like. So that's something that really caught my eye. I'm like, holy cow, is this a baby Leachianus he's putting up? And I read the description. No, that's not it, but it looks like one. And they will get kind of aggressive. If held or restricted. So they are kept left alone, kind of. They will stress out easy, like I said, they will become quite aggressive. But normally they are docile. If you leave them alone, they are a look, do not touch thing on a store shelf. You pick that thing up in the wrong way, grab it too tightly, let it feel restricted, and Tokay mode comes into play there.
You going to work with any Tokays? I know we were talking about it earlier.
Oh yeah.
I'm starting to see some of the morphs out there. They're kind of coming out with bluish.
Oh yeah. There is
ones.
New England Reptile. Kevin McCurley, I had him on before on the Revolving Exotics. He came on before, and we didn't do an episode where we just talked about one thing. And we had got on the topic of Tokays. And, he came out with a lot of the morphs of Tokays, the Calico and Caramel Albino and all that. I do not want to work with that. Calico, yes. That is something I do want to work with. But with Tokays, I'm trying to go with more of the line bred traits. I have seen, Tokay X morphs. That was one that, I can't wait to have him on the show. He's scheduled. We're going to talk about all kinds of Tokays that he has.
Yeah.
One that he's really known for is the blue emerald head and the purple passion, I believe.
Yeah.
And that is something that, as soon as we got on the topic of Tokays last night, I was like, I'm going over to his page and seeing some updates of those. And, those are fantastic-looking animals.
They always sparked an interest with me just because of their attitude. And, how big their mouths are and just how they are. They're just the noises they make. They're just really neat looking.
Yeah, and they're not something that is necessarily rare. You see a lot of the normals being produced, and they get talked down a lot because they are aggressive. That's their nature.
They have anger issues.
They do. And I've seen plenty of people, trying to breed them and calm them down. Personally, I've seen no success. I don't think there ever will be success because, there have been so many generations born, captive-born and bred animals, being bred and bred over the years, and their temperament has not decreased, as I have heard or have been seeing.
No, and they should be accepted for what they are. I mean, that's part of what they are.
And I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah.
That is not a project that I'm going to be on the ball of. I'm going to be making my money back. I bought this $500 pair, so I'm going to make $1,000 this season. That is not what I'm.
Yeah.
That's not what I expect in any reptile. But definitely not with the tokays. They are not seen as nice little geckos that you can handle. They are like I said, a look and do not touch gecko.
Beautiful display animals.
Yes. And I
big terrarium in your room or something.
Exactly. And that is why I kind of go with the line bred traits. Something more of the lines of, like I said, definitely the purple passion. Purple is my favorite color. I have always wanted to get into a purple reptile. If I go on, the Retic Nation on Facebook, I request to see, some purple albinos, purple albino golden childs, all that all day long. I like the purple in those. Those are the only animals besides the purple passion tokay gecko that I can really see the purple. But I really want to work with purple passion and tokay geckos. Like I said, nothing too big with them, because I know my collection will increase with those, because they will not sell as quickly, and I will not be able to have the space to house all of them at the time.
Yeah.
I know that can become an issue if you don't have the demand for them. They're going to be in your residence for, a large amount of time.
Yeah.
And that isn't something that I really want, not to be able to have the space to take care of them all. I mean, I have a larger facility now than what I did. But with the different species I'm bringing in, I want to make sure I have the time and the management to take care of all of them. So, a 1.3 would probably be perfect for me. Get some purple passions in, and, like I said, work with some tokays. And, prove that, hey, they're worth working with. I believe so. And I really like to prove so. I mean, you don't see them as offered as much because of their attitude. And like I said, like you said, you got to respect that. That is their nature. And like I said, I've seen multiple generations of them, and it cannot be bred out. People have worked with them, try to tame them down, and you'll get calmer ones, but they can still get aggressive. So it is not something that can be bred out of them. It's something that you're going to have to deal with.
They're the croc monitor of the gecko world.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, they're neat. That's, what's neat about them,
Oh, yeah.
But, I'd like to have a Nile crocodile, but I just don't have the room. I love the crocs and the gators.
You can keep those to yourself. I've had enough of alligators in my lifetime.
Coming from Florida, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I'm not too big on the alligators. I respect them. I respect the alligators and crocodiles. I've gone near them. I've held them and such. But they're not something I definitely want to keep.
No.
No. I respect the people that do. The zoos and stuff that properly care for them, and the breeders that have the time management and the space to be able to work with them.
They're beautiful animals.
You have to be qualified. There's a certain type of qualification for animals of this size and experience. I'll leave that to them. Like I said, I'll leave out the pictures they post on Facebook. That is something I can live without. Still enjoy the photographs and videos people post of them, but that is something that I personally will not keep. The same for venomous.
Yeah, you don't want any hots, huh?
No, well, Gila monsters, whatever people call them.
Lizards,
I've heard of a couple different terms. People call them Gila monsters or Gila monsters. Those are some things I would like to keep. People do, they are considered hots.
Yeah.
But they're a lizard. I gotta have them.
No, yeah, lizards have more personalities than snakes.
Oh, they do.
Yeah,
but the cobras, The Gaboon Viper, that's my favorite. All venomous, hot. That is my absolute favorite.
Yeah.
That is something that is definitely a natural beauty. That I would never, ever, ever like to see an albino of or melanistic. Nothing. That is beauty at its finest in its naturalistic form. I give kudos to those who work with them. I had Viper Keeper come on, and he talked about hot snakes and stuff like that he keeps, and I give him kudos for that because there are people that need to breed them. Without those breeders, those few breeders that do, we wouldn't be able to enjoy them like we do. So kudos to them. The experience and knowledge, just like I said with the crocodiles and stuff like that, you need the facility, the space, because they are definitely not going to sell as quickly as leopard geckos do. You need to be qualified. You need to have your permits ready and the knowledge. And, like he said, he wants to make sure you have your correct hours of experience with these animals and
it's the same
all
with,
of that. And that is understandable.
Gila monsters and beaded lizards, too. I believe you're supposed to have some kind of you got to have so many hours of of experience.
That is something I understand as well. They are considered a hot animal. Venomous toxins, that is something I understand. You need your experience with that.
Yeah.
That is not something that, well, man, I just found this Burmese python, on the internet. I'm going to go ahead and order it. You don't want to do that either.
No. Or any iguana. I mean,
any reptile or any animal in general.
Yeah.
But you see people do that. Now think, that's going to be big snake. But let's say something like a Gaboon Viper. That's not going to get as big as Burmese. But hey, man, I've seen this online. It's cheap. So I'm going to buy it. Oh, man, no. You need your hours experience and things like that, and that is something that, I kind of, like I said, give kudos to those breeders that do breed them and do take their time to find the right owners of the animals, because they can become a problem if going to the wrong person.
Oh, yeah, liability reasons.
Oh, yes. So, that wouldn't be something that I definitely keep.
No.
Not only that, I really don't want to put my family in jeopardy. My family is very involved in the reptiles.
Yeah.
They do like to enjoy them as much as I do. They aren't necessarily about the breeding and the knowing of the genetics of different species and stuff, and I understand that. They're not as passionate as me, but they do like to enjoy them, and they like to interact with them. And having hot animals down here, it's not something that... I have a 4-year-old sister.
Yeah, you don't need that.
No. She used to help me all the time with my leopard gecko. She had a few of her own. I was totally happy with her with being with me. She'd open up the tubs, feed them with me. She had her own. They were on, a shelf that was just high enough for her, pull them out, properly and be able to take them over to the working station, clean them out with me and everything. She knew exactly what to do. She felt confident. I think a little too confident. She was never permitted into the room. It was locked without me. And but being with hots and venomous, what if that lock failed, or what if I forgot to lock it?
Or natural disaster, or
yes, that is something that I wouldn't be able to take back. So venomous reptiles are not necessarily going to be in the household.
No, I had some rattlesnakes for a while.
They're very nice animals as well. Me and my dad, we go every summer rattlesnake hunting.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily go for the let's kill them, like some of these people do. But we go for the joy of let's see if we can find them. We have never found one. We go up on these high mountains in West Virginia, rocks, flipping them over. We have never found one. But we currently live on the mountain where most people find them now. So that's something that we're looking for. There's rocky cliffs, straight up vertical and stuff that we can now go and look at. So that's something that we are definitely going to do.
I stop and move them out of the road. I keep a snake stick behind my seat in my truck. People get mad at me if I don't kill them. I just take them and put them off to the side of the road.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I can't kill them. They always want to kill any snake, really.
Oh yeah. I mean, I even heard on I was coming back from a dinner with the family, coming back up here and just on the radio station, to come on their little breaks and whatnot. And this guy was telling a story of they heard on the news about a milk snake. Someone was living in apartments, and he's like, nobody should keep snakes in an apartment, especially nobody should keep snakes. And I'm sitting here listening to this guy, and he's going on saying that when I've gotten loose into someone else's apartment, she's flipping out. There's this gigantic 20-foot snake in her living room.
20 feet, huh?
Oh, yeah, man. This girl is exaggerating horribly. And I go online and I look, and there she is sitting there talking about this 20-foot snake to the news and everything. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And it was just a little milk snake. They had this girl had called the police. They had contacted an animal officer. Animal officer came out, and it had gotten into her speaker. And he's like, well, let's just take this little mouse and wave it in front of this hole in the speaker, and let's see if it gets it. And, I mean, it felt comfortable enough to eat. It took it, and he got it out. And, it turned out the next-door neighbor, it was his.
It was just a milk snake?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's how the story ended. He's like, you know what? Just nobody keeps snakes in general. And I'm like, well, first, the girl should never exaggerate. That was a 20-foot snake. Two, I mean, you're going to get, escapees. As much as my racks and stuff that I've ordered and built, escape-proof as they have seemed, my leopard geckos have gotten out on many occasions. Many. Luckily enough, mine were in escape-proof rooms. So if they did get out, they were still in that room. But they have gotten out.
Yeah, I've had a couple.
And, I'm thinking, how the heck did you guys squeeze through that? And I don't know. But, that's something to expect. I mean, living in an apartment, I wouldn't have a huge collection of reptiles, especially a 20-foot snake.
No.
But, that's something that you see very often nowadays, these snake bans and reptile bans in general. So it's something that we just kind of have to accept that there are people out there that are like that. My mom, at first, she was okay with the geckos. It kind of grew on her, and she got more comfortable with them. When I mentioned having a snake, she kind of flipped out. And she kind of got over the fact. We took her to a reptile show, and we showed her some ball python morphs. And that was the only reason we were getting into them, really. My dad had ordered some without her knowing. She's like, just because I said I like the look of it doesn't mean you could order it. But it grew on her. She still has, to this day, over a year, has never held one, does not want one near her, but she does appreciate and respect the animal. I can understand that. I'm totally fine with that. You do not have to hold it, nor like it, in my opinion. You just need to respect the animal, and that is what she has done. Never held one, doesn't want one near her. If it's in a locked cage and she can see it, she's fine with it. But she respects the animal, and I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah. No, I have just a gopher snake here, and that's all my wife really wants me to have.
What about you, Morgan?
I don't do snakes at all. I tried ball pythons before, and I don't know, it seems like every single snake that I've ever tried to get or have had just thought that I was food. So I think that has to do with
I have never, ever, ever been bitten by a snake.
Oh, I have.
Really? I've been bitten by everything.
I have been bitten by a couple leopard geckos, never a snake.
I've been bit by, I had a dry bite from a rattlesnake. That got my heart pumping. But I got bit by a great big old tick. Oh God, this was a long time ago.
That is something that I want.
Reticulated python?
Reticulated pythons. And
a lot of those, well, when I was into it, most of them were imported. They were wild caught. I mean, we're talking a long time ago, the 70s. And I don't know if they still all have attitudes, but back then they did.
Well, I've seen, a couple, people, having some have attitudes, but they seem like a very, very smart reptile. They're always curious. They're very problematic, not in a bad way, but they're, I don't know, they're, I wouldn't say manipulative, but they know their surroundings. They're ready to face what's coming at them, I guess. They're, like I said, they're smart.
Yeah.
And being myself, I'm 16 years old. I'm only 100 pounds. I'm never going to be a big person. I can't handle a 20-foot snake or, even a 15-foot snake.
Oh, yeah.
But the advantage now is I'm seeing everybody producing these dwarfs and super dwarfs. Okay, I've seen some normal super dwarfs, and I had Bob Clark come on. He's talking about, being just a little bit, males being the size of corn snakes as adults. Females getting a little bit bigger. That is something I can handle.
On dwarf relations, they're doing those now?
Yes. That is something that I can handle myself. The size of corn snake and a little bit bigger for females. It's not something I want to produce a lot of. It's something that with these reticulated morphs, and like I said, the purples, it's something I'd like a collection of. Personally, not for breeding, but
just
not myself from that. I get a couple with super dwarf males of different variations. I had Jay on. He was talking about he was talking about the market of reticulated pythons. He's saying give it about 3 years, and these super dwarfs will be into just about every mutation, and you're able to acquire them. Because super dwarfs and dwarfs are a little bit priced more because it has taken the time to get them to this size. And that is, kudos to that. They've taken wild animals, the Jampia, I believe. It was what they were talking about, that they bred into it to make it this size. So, it's evolution. That's why I called, my radio show Evolving Exotics.
Yeah.
They are evolving every year. We are evolving them every year into something better. Or
not natural selection, for sure.
Oh, yeah. That's what, with the whole radio show thing, I know Morgan was talking about, want to do a show about the radio shows. You see radio shows now, especially radio shows. Reptile radio shows. And, all right, the big one back in the day was Late Night Leos, this one right here. You had Nigel and Brittany. I had downloaded every one of their podcasts off iTunes, and I walked my dogs for 2 hours a night listening to their podcast. I had listened to them so many times I had memorized every word. And that was, what can I do? A radio show, I have so much free time. What can I do with it? And that's what, the future of radio shows. That's where I believe it all began for me. That got me interested in making my own radio show. That's where my old radio show, GECKO Radio, came from. Unfortunate to its downfall. Evolving Exotics, I was able to create that one. So much success out of that one. And I believe there will be more. There's some other herp-related radio shows out there. Like I said, you got Late Night Leos, you got Evolving Exotics Radio, you've got Urban Junkles Radio, Reptile Radio. It's stuff that, you don't necessarily listen to every day. And, you know, just these weekly ones, like, you know, Late Night Leo's, you know, every Saturday, 8 p.m. on Pacific Standard Time. You know, with Evolving Exotics, I started out, I just like my old one, every Sunday at 8. You know, then I kind of thought, well, let's up it a little bit. I see there's no radio shows on Thursday. That was the only day of the week that I had seen a radio show was not done on. So Sunday and Thursday. And it kind of, you know, started growing from there. Sponsors came in. And that's, you know, something that, you know, got me even more motivated into making it better, making it worthwhile. And hopefully this week you'll see the launching of EvolvingExotics.com. It'll actually be EvolvingExoticsRadio.com. Thank you, Jordan Russell. He created that from BreederSource.com. That awesome website will be launched up, and you guys can see it. And that's really going to help that a lot. The website, getting it out there, because not everybody is on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's what I think a lot of people lack in the knowledge of.
Oh, yeah.
You see so many people on Facebook, but what about those people that don't have Facebook? You know, getting in touch with Mike Rakowski, you know, my good buddies, he doesn't have Facebook. He stays out of that game. He doesn't like the social networks of Facebook, Twitter, things like that. He lives by going to other people's websites, calling on the phone, email. So those people, you know, how can I reach them? They don't get on my Facebook page or anything. So I thought, you know, let's, you know, just create the website.
There's readers that don't even have computers.
Oh, yes, I know. I don't know what to do about them. I don't know what to do there. But, I mean, I can order the transcripts of each episode I do and send it out to people by mail. But, no, that's $150 an episode, and
yeah,
I don't know there. But, I mean, you know, feature reptile
put on
radio
8-track for the old-timers.
Oh, yeah. But, you know, the radio show is going to become more common. There's always going to be those starter radio shows that got people interested. Like Late Night Leo's got me interested doing reptile radio shows. Not necessarily just reptiles I've been doing arachnids, amphibians. That's Evolving Exotics. I didn't want it to be just about reptiles. I wanted to attract other people as well. So I made it Evolving Exotics. There's so many exotic creatures out there that I just wanted to cover. And just getting the education out there to people, not only educating me, but educating everybody else. And I think that's what's going to get other people interested in radio shows. Late Night Leo's, you know, when it first began, you know, basically it was about leopard geckos. They kind of expanded, not too much, not at all, but they had Pat Klein of Luxurious Leopards. You know, he came on to talk about fat-tailed once. You know, not necessarily, I mean, it's still on the topic of leopard geckos, but when Matt Bronick came on, he talked about the market of leopard geckos. Eventually, they had on some, Marsha McGinnis talked about her green tree pythons, I believe. So it kind of expanded a little bit, but then it died. And that's what I really didn't like. So I started listening to every episode and repeat and repeat and repeat. What can I do to bring back something like Late Night Leo's, but go off from where they ended? They ended expanding into other things. So that's kind of what I wanted to do. I wanted to start up expanding into different things. Not just geckos, not just ball pythons or snakes. Like I said, everything. Amphibians, arachnids, reptiles, the works. So that's, you know, what I'm trying to do is not only educate myself and to make an enjoyable Sunday and Thursday night listen in or listen to the archives whenever you want, but to educate those others as well. I'm sure that's, you know, what you're doing as well, Morgan, is, you know, not only educating yourself and bringing you know, something cool and enjoyable into the hobby, but educating, those others as well.
Yeah, I'd really like to get more species on, and I think that's awesome the way you're doing it. Having, I've seen and listened to your shows, and just having like every color of the rainbow on there. It's really nice to see.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's as you've seen, the past week and a half, I wasn't able to do it, and that's something that I've really missed out on, and something I look forward to every Thursday and Sunday night. But I mean, I just got my internet turned on yesterday, and the phone was up here. I mean, I don't have cell phone service, so I had to wait to get the house phone hooked up. We got the house phone hooked up yesterday, just in time for the show tonight. I'm like, oh, thank God. Where I'd be going to the toll phone down there and paying the $1.25 every 5 minutes for the show.
Quarters clinking all through the show.
Oh yeah,
25 cents, please.
I mean, people are limited to the radio show, and it's something I definitely missed out on. So you guys will definitely be, look forward to the show Thursday special episode.
I'll have to check it out.
And I mean, like I said, I guess I'm the East Coast guy here on this show. But you guys are over there on Pacific Standard Time. Right now, it's 3 hours earlier than what I am. And that's kind of what I like about doing the radio show at 8 o'clock. There's a lot of reptile people over here that I know. I've had other people listen in across the country, and then go on there online and you can see who's listened in, and you have people message you on Facebook or emailing you about the show and stuff like that. Yeah. And, some people listen in live, but your most views come from archived. And I recently had a problem with my shows being reported for the archives. I'm sorry about that, guys. I did get that back up and running. For some reason, my shows were being reported, and so that was down for about 2 weeks, because I had to call up Blog Talk and get all that sorted out. And that kind of put a dent into my archive listens and stuff like that, and I've had a couple people message me, and my other sponsors, who've asked me, why can't we listen into the shows and stuff? And I was having all sorts of problems with it, and going Blog Talk and getting all that sorted out. So thankfully, start nice and fresh Thursday. It's a good show, and you'll just be able to carry on with some cool topics. One of my favorite shows, it's getting ready to come up, is carpet pythons. That's something that I really like. There's not too many snake species that I really enjoy, but carpet pythons are definitely one of them. So I can't wait for that show. And, some other shows out there that kind of stand out, that I have done. Earlier, about, I'd say November, I did an off-the-wall show about betta fish. Surprisingly, that got one of the most views.
Yeah, those are cool. Siamese fighting fish.
They are not something that.
I had some that I bred. It's cool how they blow the bubbles and lay the eggs in them, and
exactly.
This was quite a while ago.
That was not something I had ever planned on doing. That was something that I had seen someone post a picture of a betta fish, and I'm like, I love betta fish. I'd love to know more about them. I called up a guy and had him on that show that Sunday. Right. And surprisingly enough, like I said, that got some of the best views. And I'm thinking, well, all these followers are following me for the reptiles and amphibians and arachnids. Why the heck did I bring a fish in here? I was thinking, oh, man, what am I doing? Everybody's going to be complaining about this and everything else. And surprisingly, everybody loved it.
And next week, the chicken whisperer.
Oh, yeah. It's like I said, it's a work in progress. In your radio show, for those others that want to start one, the advice I'd give you is you're going to get out what you put in it. If you go in there for 20 minutes to set up and don't really spend enough time trying to get guests and working your way up there, you're not really going to get much out of it.
Yeah.
It took me a while. The real reason I've had the experience of another radio show that got me into this one, and that's what kind of sparked it up. I knew what I was doing. I'm a tech guy. I know what to do. Sitting at home, getting my schoolwork done, Flash, hurry up on easy. Still keep my grades up. It's not that hard for me. Like I said, I love school, so.
Yeah.
Being able to contact some other people, sponsorship, that's a big one. There is a fund that comes out of doing a radio show, for those of you that do not know. So there, you do have to pay for that.
Yeah, it's good business experience for you anyways, I mean.
Exactly. So if you can't pay that, that monthly fee, you can't keep your radio show up. The first thing you want to do is, get a couple shows in, contact somebody about sponsorship. Let your archives get up there a little bit. Promote your shows. I remember, doing a show, promoting it all that week until that show came. Promote it 3 times that night. The next morning, hey, in case you missed this show last night, go and listen to it. There you go. Promoting your show is something that you definitely need to do. Something that Morgan does very well. And, after you've done that, you get your archives up. People get interested. Then, you contact somebody that is in your category. Maybe you're doing, what if you're doing makeup? Contact Daggone Avon or somebody. I'm showing you my archives. People I've listened in, and I'm getting these views, and maybe they'll be interested in becoming a sponsor. If you can get them to pay for the show that month, for every month, you're good. I mean, basically you're doing the show freely. You don't have to worry about the monthly fee. All right. Now you're in the next step. You get your sponsor down. You need to get people on there for shows. Make sure you have a full list of show people, backup shows. If I've had an occasion where somebody could not make it to a show, I always have someone on backup that can follow up for that person in case there is a problem and the other person cannot attend. So that is always good to have. You start getting more and more sponsors, and it starts building up. You then start making an income of it. Put that into a bank. Save up for stuff you need. I took out and went and got some T-shirts and merchandise ordered. Of course, everything I do, it has my sponsors on it. Late Night Lead is a sponsor. There we go. They're on my merchandise. I can't wait to get that stuff in. As soon as that's done, I'll have that. The order said 3 weeks, so gotta wait on that. But it's good. Think of the reptile shows.
You can write all that off too.
Oh yeah. You got T-shirts. That's a big seller. T-shirts. If you need income for your radio show, T-shirts. T-shirts the best way. Another good way is things that people use every day. People don't necessarily use mouse pads. I've seen a lot of people try to do mouse pads for different products and stuff. Not many people use mouse pads every day. Try coffee mugs. That's another big one. Different, little sticky notepads, stuff like that. Stuff that, what would you use every day? And what do your listeners use every day? Everybody, most people that listen to you have a Facebook. They've liked you. I mean, I've gone around. I've looked at about 100 different followers on my Facebook page. I've looked at their occupation. What do? Most of them work in an office. Okay, so maybe those people will use a notepad. I did not order a large quantity of them, but I did order some because those people that work in an office-type occupation might use that.
Kind of a subliminal, like Post-it, pick up sugar and listen in.
Exactly. And, that's something that once you get that in, I haven't necessarily ever made, an income of it because it's all going back to the show. I recently bought a mic, bought a headset, a new program to edit, to do better, equipment for the shows. I used to do videos in the beginning. I am currently just got the program this week. and making a full-fledged commercial for each one of my sponsors. That has been something that, I told my sponsors going to do, and finally was able to get the program downloaded. I got the setup of what I needed, and there is going to be a commercial. Whatever you can do to make your sponsors happy is what you need to do. Most of the people, they do, like I said, put their names on merchandise, promote them. I promote mine. I share their stuff on the Facebook page and my personal page, and that kind of gets their name out as well. That's what gets them most interested, I believe. Let's see how much, they can promote our business. And, let's get them out there and stuff like that. That's what they're, kind of looking at. How can this benefit me? So getting that out there, you're able to, be able to see that all the time. You can delete posts off Facebook anytime. But after you sold that T-shirt, you can't take that eraser marker and erase their name off that merchandise. So, that's kind of stuck on that, T-shirt for the rest of that T-shirt's career. People wearing it around, other people seeing it. And the last T-shirts I've made, took them down to reptile shows and handed them out. Like, hey, free T-shirts. Do you want to wear this around the show that day? I've had people, wear that around the show that day. It's promoting my sponsors. It's promoting the radio show. And, the rest, the next radio reptile show, you go out and you sell a little bit. And then you have, next radio show, you want to do a little bit of contest. You go out and you, of course you're going to sell some. But you want to do, let's say, a little contest, put your name in this, pick some, you get a free T-shirt. Those people are then wearing that T-shirt and promoting your business and such. That's what's really getting your name out there.
Oh, yeah.
When you have your name out there, people start getting interested and stuff like that. On Facebook, the big thing is when people share your photos or your posts, and, that's getting it out there as well. But what people don't realize is when people like something on your page, let's say, I like something of Morgan's.
Yeah, it'll share it.
Yes, it will share it. It'll be, Brandon Merritt liked, Morgan's, photo of this or this post about Late Night Leos. It's going out there, and it's showing all of my friends getting out there. What the heck is this thing they're talking about? They click on it because, people are nosy these days. They really are. And they're wondering what the heck we're talking about. And they're like, oh, man, that's kind of cool. And, that's just some ways to promote your business, get your name out there. Because people are curious. People want to know what the hype is, what's going on. So when people see these T-shirts, these nice, design T-shirts, catch people's eye, nice and bright and eye-catching. They're wondering, what's going on here?
I know the first thing, like when you go to reptile shows now, the Sacramento Reptile Show, you get, I think it's Exoterra. They'll come up and hand you a bag, like a shopping bag, or a Triple L Reptile, or someone will come hand you one of those bags. My daughter always goes with me, and she grabs everything, all the free stuff. I want one.
Yep. I mean, that's what, like they with the T-shirts. They go around and go up to random people. Hey, you want a T-shirt? I mean, what size do you wear? I got multiple sizes here. Pick out one. That's kind of what you need to do. Involving in business is giving away kind of free stuff to promote yourself.
What about hats,
and with the radio show, don't expect to make a huge income. Once it gets big, I mean, you could make a job out of it. Doing this once a day, getting some nice listeners, getting tons of sponsors. The thing that helps you out the best is getting sponsors with a, good name in the business. That's the important thing. If you get somebody that is discriminated, doesn't do things properly, is not looked highly upon in the product or, whatever the production you're trying to, talk about on your radio show, it's not going to work out for you. One of the big sponsors that I have is Late Night Leos. they are someone that's well known. Another radio show. That also gets out there a little bit. Rural Constrictor Designs, Garrick DeMeyer. That's a big name in the reptile community for ball pythons. Very nice ball python morphs and such like that. GorgeousGecko.com, you've got them. Nice crested geckos. Things like that, really stand out. If you have good quality sponsors on your radio show, show them on your products, like the T-shirts. They're going to wonder, well, if they are willing to have their name on this radio show, then they must, be worthy enough, for me to listen into. That's what really gets you interested in it.
So you go for big sponsors like Coca-Cola or Wheaties or...
Oh, yeah, man, I'm all down for Coca-Cola products.
That'd be nice, huh?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I take that acrylic paint and, on my pure white, cystic ball python, I put Coca-Cola. And I carry that around with me to the reptile shows.
There you go. My McDonald's.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not that one.
No.
So, Branyan, Jeff was kind of mentioning, what about, baseball caps? Have you tried that?
Oh, well, yes, I did order a couple of those. It's not something that, I see too many people wearing around nowadays. It's not something that's fashionable as before. But yes, I did order a couple of those. Those, though, you have to watch out. Baseball caps are not a T-shirt. Baseball caps fit on your head and cannot display your sponsors like you'd want them to.
Oh, yeah.
That is why I got very few. And those that do, they just say Evolving Exotics on there, and they say, check out my sponsors on this site. And it has a site on the back. And that is something that, like I said, with the T-shirts, my sponsors are all over it. You can see it and stuff like that.
The old sandwich board idea.
Yeah, I mean, with your baseball caps, you can't really do that. You put your business name on there, and that is basically it. That is why I did not order very many of those, and the ones that, I did had Evolving Exotics on the front, and on the back, it says check out our sponsors here in the website. So that, that is used so that they can find a place to check out our sponsors and know that we do have sponsors, and the sponsors are going to be mentioned on there, but not individually like you would see on the T-shirts and other merchandise.
Huh. Yeah, you got a bigger billboard to work with.
Exactly. The same with the pins and stuff. I've seen people do some pins.
Yeah.
You can't really fit the sponsors on there. Now, the sticky notes and the coffee mug, on each sticky note there's a different sponsor with a different logo.
That's cool.
There's a little Evolving Exotics logo at the very bottom, but, the whole sticky note is, one's Late Night Leos, and, it says Late Night Leos at the top and has their logo the whole page, and then has Evolving Exotics down at the very bottom in the right-hand corner. That's the sticky notes. The same with the coffee mug, except coffee mug has Evolving Exotics on there, and then around the coffee mugs, it has the different sponsors' names, different color letters, kind of eye-catching. So you got to each individual spot, and you're able to put them all on there. So, it's, you got to find ways that work for you.
Yeah.
So where is all this stuff? Because I follow that page, and I haven't seen. I try to keep
like
updated.
I said, I had posted on there not too long ago. I had posted all the products are done. Just can't wait to get them ordered. The company that that I've ordered from them before, the T-shirts and stuff, and I didn't really put them on the Facebook page. I took them to reptile shows and kind of threw them out there. Now these products will be going in an album where you can see them, and as soon as they're done, the shipping is 3 weeks. So have them on there as soon as they arrive. Take pictures of them and post them, and able to get those out there.
Right on. That's pretty cool.
So that is something I can't wait to get. I mean, I'm all out of my T-shirts. I've gave them all away and promoted them at reptile shows. And like I said, all the the ones I did get money for, they went into stuff to spend more on products, get more quantity of the ones that sold the best. And like I said, the ones that sold the best were the T-shirts. Now the hoodies, that's one that I'm trying. Because I mean, you can wear T-shirts all day long, every day down in Florida. Now that I'm up here, I mean, you're going to need something a little bit warmer for these fall and winter months. There's not necessarily many reptile shows in West Virginia. I don't think there's any at all. Up here, White Plains and stuff like that. And that is still up here in the northern part. And something where people are going to use sweatshirts and stuff like that, the hoodies. So that is something that I'm going to try, the hoodies, and take them to reptile shows up here. I never did in Florida with the hoodies because of the fact that not really anybody wears hoodies in Florida. So I do have a purpose for hoodies up here.
Yeah, that'd be... Who for... now, I use custom ink for, like, clothing and Vistaprint for accessories. Is that pretty much how you do it as well?
Yes, that is exactly how I do it.
Okay.
Custom ink does my T-shirts, like I said, going to try the hoodies. They do my clothing apparel. And then Vistaprint, I've worn them for many times, had great success with the products that I've gotten from them. They do, like the sticky pads, coffee mugs, like little knickknacks and stuff like that.
Okay, and actually, have you purchased their car magnet, the big, huge logo that goes on the side of your car door? Have you tried that yet? Does that work?
Not. My mom, for her business, yes, she has done that. The big car magnet, it does work. Down in Florida, you have the disadvantage of sitting in the sun and making a spot on your car. But up here, you don't really have that problem of the sun beating down on it all the time. So yes, I will be getting one for my car. I know I want to have the big old sun imprint on it. So that is something I'm going to try, because I know that I don't drive around too often. But there is always somebody sitting there looking at your car in the parking lot, and if they notice a vibrant magnet on the side of your car, they're going to be attracted to it.
Oh, yeah.
That is something I definitely want to try.
Yeah. What about, like, the window magnets, or the window vinyl decal things? Is that something that you have tried?
I've seen that, too. That would be something I have been contemplating about, the magnet on the car or the sticker.
Get some spinner hubcaps.
Not exactly sure.
Spinner hubcaps with evolving exotics. That'd be cool.
Oh, man, that'd catch a lot of attention.
Yeah.
Actually, I had been thinking about a billboard. Down a highway. I have called the number and asked them, the pricing. It's not too bad either. And,
what is it, if you don't mind?
Well, I've actually called a couple different ones, and they have given me different prices from $500 to $800. And that is like free. No, that's like for 3 months, I believe. It kind of varied from 3 to 5 months, which isn't really bad at all.
Yeah.
So if
it generates enough business, and it's good.
Yeah, it's something that everybody looks at billboards.
Yeah.
People get tired of the McDonald's ones coming up, or the Cracker Barrel, or something like that. Don't get me wrong, I love McDonald's and I love Cracker Barrel, but I'm tired of seeing the same ones. They see a great big old evolving exotic sign on there, and what the heck is that doing out there? I've never seen that before. Everybody has smartphones. Let's look this up on a smartphone. And there you go, evolving exotics. What the heck is this? Click on an episode just to see what it is.
Yeah.
There you go. You got a view. Maybe that person gets interested. Maybe they have a son or a daughter in the car that listen to it. That's how you generate people to listen in to shows.
On a main highway that goes to a pet shop or to a reptile show or something?
Exactly. Flyers and business cards in reptile shops. I have ordered thousands of business cards and brochures. That is something that definitely generates listens and views. If you want views, you need business cards. Easy things to carry around in your pocket, your wallet, in your car. I have them everywhere. I always have some on me if I'm going somewhere. Pet shops all down Florida, I've taken and just ordered, tons of them. I walk into, mom and pop shops are the best. They're not Pet Killer, Pet Smart. I have put, some brochures in there. They have let me. Mom and pop shops are the best, though.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that, Pet Smart and Pet Killer are big companies. They don't want interference necessarily, but they will allow you to do it. I've gotten some people too. And but mom and pop shops, they're family-owned businesses most of the time. They're willing to do this, and I go and put in a couple, quite a few on the counter. I have gone to them, every Sunday that morning, and restock on them because they will be gone. The people there, I have good friends with a lot of them down there. When you're a reptile person, you meet another reptile person, you're automatically connected. It's like destiny or something. And you get to talking, and they're promoting your business well. They're like, they say they'll hand out a card, with the receipt, and those people look at it. Oh, okay, what's this? And that is how you will generate most of your views. Like I said,
have you noticed other reptile cards there? I mean, from other companies or whatnot?
No.
No? Oh, that's
no.
Yeah, that's.
And that is actually weird.
Because I
would
put
think
out landscape
that other reptile
cards.
companies would be trying this.
Yeah.
But they're not really doing it. And that's kind of what, confused me a minute there. I'm like, maybe, these people aren't allowing people to put this on cards or brochures here. But it's worth to try to ask them. And they're like, no, you can do it. Put them here. Go on there every Sunday, drive around, and restock them. Because they may not all be gone that week. But you will have quite a few gone. Well, it necessarily depends on the product or what your radio show is about. I do, the reptile radio show. We're talking about this is the business. So, yes, if you promote your business like that, you will get it. So you'll get those views. And each card that you hand out, look at it as just one view. Just look at it as one. And only ever look at it as one. Each card that you purchase, each product, look at it as one view. That one view may blossom into 10. But only look at it as one. That is what I do. I do not expect that person that picks up that card to listen to every episode, listen to it multiple times. I expect them to listen to it once, and that is it. It is blossomed from there. Each one of my sponsors, I have shown them the archives, the listens, and they see that. The number of cards that I've purchased kind of represent now I've lost track of what I was trying to say. The archives and listens that I've gotten, the views, the more followers. So, those people that are trying to get into creating a reptile radio show or herpetoculture type show like this, that is something you need to do. Promote your business, promote your shows. Late Night Leos, Morgan does a very good job of doing that. Put out some links here. Create the Facebook page because, like I said, almost everybody is on Facebook. You have those that don't do Facebook, but 97% of the normal people in the world have a Facebook, and you're able to generate a lot of views and stuff from there. And that is one thing that you guys need to know about Facebook as well, though. You may have 10,000 people that like your page, but maybe only 3,000 will ever see your post. So that is something you have to think about. don't think that just because you have 10,000 likes, that's going to mean that, hey, I've got 10,000 people watching my page. No. That means that you may have 3,000 to 4,000 that are actually seeing your posts and interacting with them. The interaction rate of people liking and commenting on them may be 1,000 to 2,000. So don't get bummed if you only have, you have 10,000 and you're only seeing 3,000 to 4,000 people see it, and 1,000 to 2,000 people interacting with you. Don't think that's not your problem. That is the way Facebook is generated and used. So that's just the way the internet, social network media works. You just got to figure out ways to promote your radio show. Fauna Classifieds, different forums. If you can get your banner out there, I recently sent in a request for Fauna Classifieds, Reptile Calculator. That is stuff that will promote your business and stuff that you need to look into.
Yeah, Reptile Calculator would be a good one.
Oh, yeah, there's
all of them
out there that get stuck on morphs. They're tired of boring people on, the GECKO blog about this. So they go and they look on Reptile Calculator. They see your banner up there. I have clicked on every banner on these social media sites.
Oh, I have.
That's just
forums,
what you do.
All of them.
Yes, that's what you do.
See what everybody else is doing and what the prices are and everything else.
That will generate audience, and that's what you need. I know I'm giving away my secrets, but I want to see more reptile radio shows. I can't do mine every day of the week. I wish I could. I want to be able to listen to those that, I'm sitting here cleaning out my cages one night or, doing homework. I want to listen to one. And that's what, Saturdays I listen to Late Night Leos. Some of them I don't get to listen to all of them, live. Sundays and Thursdays I get to listen to my own. Fridays I get to listen to Urban Jungles. And then I go and listen to some archives of other people's and just see what they're all about. And don't ever, that's a big one, don't ever look at yourself as the top dog in radio show, reptile radio, something like that, because basically we're all together and doing it. Because, when you're looking at, the tags in a radio show, what do you see? If you're looking at this one right now, Late Night Leos, Evolving Exotics, THORGECKO, Leopard Gecko, radio shows, and reptile industry. You click on any one of those, that's going to take you somewhere else. When I put mine up there to increase the audience for other people as well, I put reptiles, snakes, geckos, lizards, things like that. In doing so, you're not only taking people to your other shows, but I'm taking people to Urban Jungles Radio, Reptile Radio, Late Night Leos, because they've done some gecko people and put gecko in their tags, snakes in their tags, radio shows in their tags. You're generating views for them as well. So don't ever look at it as, just promoting yourself. You need to promote other people as well. And that is what the tags are there for.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And I have a question. So on Facebook where you can boost a post and you actually pay money to have them advertised. Now I did a little. Yeah, that's my conclusion. But I have to tell the story. I did that. I spent a fair amount of money on a couple of people that did shows on Late Night Leos to boost the link to their show, and I noticed that even though Facebook said that there was 5,000 views on it, I got either the same or less actual interaction on it, and no difference on the actual listens. Nobody clicked on that. So
exactly. And not only that, they do promise you 50 to 77 likes a day.
Yeah, they promise you a lot
that
of
is
things.
something for Facebook to generate money. I have tried that once, After 5 days, done. Did not generate more likes than I usually do after every episode that I do.
It's because it's probably going to
I do not
people
support doing that. I do not recommend doing that unless you are willing to just give some money to Facebook.
Yeah.
You are better off, like me, you, or any other reptile radio show does, make a Facebook page. Promote your show in reptile groups. Don't go over static, though, posting every day in every same group. If I have a special show, if I'm doing, I've got Leap and Leechies coming on, so I'm going to post in the Leachianus group or an all gecko group, not necessarily, maybe the gecko blog. And that isn't, a lot of people post just leopard geckos in there, but that is the gecko blog, not just the leopard gecko blog. So that would be something I'd post in. I wouldn't post it in the leopard geckos. I wouldn't post it in the ball pythons. I'd post it in the category that it goes, or people will get annoyed. That was something that I experimented with in the early stages, and I got kicked out of some groups for posting.
Definitely.
A ball python show in a leopard gecko, forum group on Facebook. And all right, I won't do that again. Just let me back into the group. So that's something that you need to do. Stick to your topic on a show and where you are promoting it.
Yeah, and I also think on top of that, it's very good to, read the rules of the groups and beyond advertising your page, actually, engage in the page. Because if they see you personally engaging, then they won't be so, they're spamming us with their show again this week.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Maybe ask permission from the administrators or.
Yes. That is very good. Something that I have done and saying, I do have this show, about this certain topic. Is it okay if I can post it in this group? Okay, you can do that when you have a topic about this. But I am very active on every, just about every, reptile, herpetological group on Facebook. So it is, common for me to, pop up somewhere in anybody's group and comment on this. So just stick to your topics, really. Tonight's show, it is focused around, future radio shows and how to make a radio show. But it says Late Night Leos with Evolving Exotics, not necessarily just about radio shows. So we have expanded into some different topics this show. But if you have something, I did a show with Bob Clark about reticulated pythons. I put that in the category. It was going to be about reticulated pythons. I did not whatsoever expand into blood pythons, ball pythons, not something I wanted to do. Now, there has been a time when I had Jay on talking about the market and the morphs of reticulated pythons. There are questions that you can ask that are acceptable. Is this gene kind of like the gene in this ball python? You don't want to bring in, how is your ball python collection doing? That may be something towards the end. You're trying to pass the time, the 5 minutes, whatever. But you don't want to go out of the topic you have placed in your title. With my description, I usually paste my title into the description until about the show day. After I've talked to the person that I'm having on the show and be like, hey, at the end, we have a couple minutes, you want to talk about this? Then I'll paste that in the description. Post everything, what the show is going to be about. That's just the way that I do things, the way that works for me. Isn't necessarily going to maybe work for you. Maybe you don't have the time or want to do that. But everybody has their own ways of what works for them, and that's what works for me.
Yeah, and definitely, I think trial and error is really good too, because you look at your first show, and then in a couple of years you'll look back and you'll say, "Wow, I'm glad I messed up a few times so I could actually learn and I'm happy that that person said, please don't ever do that kind of a show again, you know. Criticism, I think, is really good as well.
Creative criticism?
Yeah, as long as it's creative. You know, I know that Late Night Leos is, a lot of people don't like, 2 hours in the middle of the night, I'm tired, you're, you know, rambling on about all these different subjects, and, but it's not lunchtime.
That's kind of like me right now. I mean, on your end, you know, on the Pacific Coast, I mean, it's a normal Saturday night, show ends at 10 o'clock. On my end, over here, I'm going to 1 o'clock in the morning. Maybe I don't have the time. If I wasn't doing the show, if I didn't have the time to do the show or, you know, stay up and listen to it, I'm going to listen to your archives, man. I mean, that's what I do. There's some Saturday nights where I can listen to the show live. You see me in a chat room or whatever. There are others where I just can't make it. I'm going to listen to your archives. You do have those followers that will be loyal, and they'll listen in live as much as they can, or they'll be your archive followers.
Yeah, I've missed shows
and stuff like that. So.
It was something I was interested in, and I had, I don't know, family or something got in the way of my reptiles, darn it. So I'll look up the archives and listen in on the show.
Exactly. And don't ever freak out. Don't ever, if you see that your archive views are going down one show or something like that, they will pop up. Now, if you have, you know, you're starting out, you know, good, you're going up there, you're getting some archive views, and you see a dramatic drop, you know, you're getting 500, 800 in a week, and you see that you're getting 1 to 200, go back to what you're doing. What did you change?
Yeah.
That is something, trial and error. You want to go back, re-listen to your shows. I always re-listen to my shows. See what I did different in this show than I did in the other one, because I'm always changing it, trying to make the show better than what it already is. What can I do? Do I need to talk more? More variable questions? You know, what do I need to do? And once you have fixed that, you'll see your views and stuff going back up. Or, you know, what if, what if you did, let's say you get that 500, 800 in a week. You know, that's outstanding for you if you'd been getting only 1 to 200. What did you do that everybody liked this week? And continue doing that. But you do need to try something different in a couple weeks to see if that's going to make it better or worse. If it's worse, go back to what you were doing. If it's better, keep doing that. Try to improve. And that is what you need to do. You know, I've got the the startup intro for the show, like, you know, what I like to do. I've seen that improve the show. That was something that improved it. They were my sponsors at the beginning, like Late Night Leos does. Putting them at the beginning, I put them at the end as well. But, you know, doing the videos that I put out there on YouTube and stuff, promoting the show and all that, that is something that everybody likes. They know that this isn't something that I'm just doing to do. It's something that I'm serious about doing. It's what I like doing. They see that I am continually doing it, and something that they know isn't going to be going for a month or two and then just end up dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
The more you put into it, the more you get out of it.
But, you know, I see Late Night Lena's just got $5 off your next purchase of a spaceship.
Yeah.
How much is that spaceship, Morgan?
That's the best prize I can give right now.
Well, if I see a picture of the spaceship unphotoshopped with the date of tomorrow's newspaper, I'll buy it.
What about the date of next month's newspaper?
Yeah, as long as it's got the lottery results in it, we're good.
It's a time traveling spaceship. No, we'll have prizes. There's this very nice lady, Brooke, that is hopefully going to be helping us out with some logo work, and if that works out, then we just might have something to give away that has a logo on it.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Free stuff. Oh, man. People love free stuff. It doesn't matter if you're giving away a bag of M&Ms or a free gecko.
Or Hot Wheels cars with your logo on them.
Oh yeah, man, cool. I love that. I mean, that's something that's going to generate views. If people know that you're giving away something free, it doesn't matter. It's free. People are going to try to win it. People are going to listen in the show to see what you have to do. That is something that I have not done a lot. It is not something that I stand by doing every show. There is another show that does that every show and does do that. That is how they get their views. I do not stand by that. It's not something that I think that I have to, kind of barter with my people. You listen to my show, I give you free stuff.
Yeah.
That's not something I want to do. It's not something that I stand by. You want to listen to my show? Listen to my show. If you don't, I don't want to be mean, but I really don't care. I'm doing this. You're going to be happy. It keeps me busy. I'm not someone that sits. If I do sit, my hands or my feet are always moving. I got to get up and I got to move. Like right now, I'm walking around empty room right now. I'm not sitting down. I'll go over to the computer and check what everybody's writing in the chat a little bit.
Brooke says, "Boo! We want free stuff every day." But I think definitely what it's free education.
Exactly.
Like tonight, anyone.
I mean, some of these people have to go out and they have to buy books to learn some of this stuff that I'm bringing on guests to talk about. And in the beginning, yes, I did give away free T-shirts. Walk around, hand them out to people. That is something that gets you started in the beginning. After you get past the point of getting followers and a steady income of the views and stuff like that, you don't need to give away any free stuff. I mean, you've got the people there, you've got your audience. Let it build as it is.
So Branyan
currently on my Facebook page,
gets by on
I don't
its
even
own
have
merit.
600 likes. I have 570 something. Do I care? No. I don't promote my Facebook page as often as some people think I should. My views show on my archives and stuff. Thousands of views in my archives, and I only got 570 something likes on my Facebook page. That is okay to me. If people don't want to take the time to go to the Facebook page and like it, so be it. It's just what works for me. So what works for me. If people want to go to Facebook to keep up to date, like I said, maybe 100, 150 people actually will see my posts. 50 will actually interact. And be able to see every week that, hey, this show's coming up. Others, like I said, are loyal people that are sitting there. They know when the shows are. And they know that they can go back in the archives and they can listen to them if they can't listen to them live. And that's what shows in your archives, not about your Facebook page or website. It's what your radio show statistics look like.
Yeah. That's what generates the numbers, is the numbers, huh?
Exactly. You see there's some people that, when I first started out, I was like, oh man, these people, they've got so many likes on their Facebook page, and I only got this. What am I going to do? And then I started seeing, all right, well, I'm getting a few likes here and a few likes there. But wait, look, my archives, they've got so many daggone views. And that's just what people want to do. They know when the show is. They know what they can do with the shows. They know they can go back and listen to them if they can't listen to it live. They don't need to like your Facebook page. I don't need a Facebook page. That once you got your audience base down, that's all that you need. It'll grow from there on its own.
Yeah.
Unless you want to get those those views out, go ahead and give away something free or promote your show extensively. Like I said, I went out and still do give away, hand out some cards to people. Walk around the high school, everybody's like, holy cow, you have a radio show, and you're talking about this and that and this. And I'm like, yeah, listen in, you know, I know I haven't been able to do it for the last week and a half because, you know, moving back up here and stuff and, you know, things like that. But listen in Thursday. I mean, I'm talking about this, you know, we can go ahead and we can look and, you know, see what this is actually what I'm talking about. People, you know, high school is people talk.
Yeah, that's where it is. You got to get the young viewers in there to, you know,
exactly, and you know,
new blood.
You're like, they're coming up to me like, well, you're the new kid. You got a radio show. You work with these reptiles. You breed them and stuff like that. I'm like, yep. Walking to computing and business class yesterday. They've been working on a PowerPoint all week on how to make something. I walk in there. I'm like, what? I'm going to make a PowerPoint on how to make a Europlatus vivarium. And by the end of it, nobody knew what a Europlatus was. They knew how to set up a vivarium. At the very end of the slide, I put, in case you're wondering what a Europlatus is, and I had a couple pictures of some. I'm like, holy cow, look at that. And that's what the last half an hour of the class was talking about these geckos and people wanting to know and listening to the radio show. Your youngest viewers will definitely be your most loyal and your most income of archived listeners. Young people have too much time on their hands nowadays.
Well, yeah, they're all computer. You know, it's all the young kids.
They're all
they
computer
have smartphones
kids. They got smartphones to listen to. They got the iPods and the music gadgets, stuff like that. That will be where your most income of archived listeners are. So, you know, just those tips will help you out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure, times have sure changed from when I was growing up.
Oh yeah. They definitely have.
Transistor radio.
Oh yeah. I mean, you know, everybody. You know, I mean, some people, you know, in school, you know, you can't possibly have, you know, a radio show. You're only 16. I'm like, yes, I do at home. You know, I do this, do that, and you know, half the people didn't believe me. I'm like, you know what? I'll pull up my phone and I'll show you right now. They're like, go ahead, show them. Should pull up my studio, show them what's going on, and like, holy cow, you really do.
Yeah.
And you know, that's just getting the word out. You know, I had everybody down in Florida listening in. You know, go reptile shows. People knew I was going to be there. I've gone to every one of them. Shows down there, they're 2 days. You know, Saturday and Sunday. So you have, you know, everybody there. They know I'm going to be there. Both days I'm there. You know, I'm handing out the free T-shirts, selling the free T-shirts. You know, doing some contests and stuff. They know I'm there promoting the show. So you have those listeners down there, and that carries on. And then, you know, coming up here now, getting into the high school, getting into the kids' point of view. I mean, you have kids at reptile shows, but you also have the adults. That's where you'll get most of your adults. Is where you can interact with them. But, you know, getting into the high school, you're going to promote a lot of the kids. So that's what kind of struck my idea. How did this guy figure out how to have a radio show? And talk in high school, it's crazy. It goes around like a stinking mosquito bite. You scratch it, and it's all up your arm, on your legs, and by the end of it, you know, everybody knows, and it's time for, you know, your views and stuff to go up. So, I mean, I'm expecting my views to go up now, but, you know, some people might be as interested, so they might not listen in all the time. Some people really love it. They'll listen in all the time and stuff like that. So what I'm telling everybody is do what works for you. Don't do exactly what works for me. I want you guys to try around and see, you know, if what I do works for you. But I'm not saying not to experiment with what works for you. Just because it works for me isn't going to work for you. Morgan, I hope you're not still in high school at your age.
I wish I was. Best day of my life.
I know that it isn't going to work for you at the high school gig. You know, we're around the high school, it gets around.
You might get in trouble for hanging out there.
You're going to somewhere else and try it. You know, reptile shows would be, you know, your biggest point there. A lot of talk at reptile shows. So that's going to works for you. So,
yeah.
Unfortunately, I know we only have 6 minutes of the show left, and 2 hours goes by pretty fast. Wait. We're on a daggone it. No, we're not. I was going to say we're on a new day, but I'm on a new day. You guys aren't. I was like, man, you can just go ahead and schedule another show, and we'll stay here for another 2 hours.
Yeah, no, we're not. We don't get the time change until, 12 tonight or something.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
yeah.
Well, either way, I'm sitting here at 1 o'clock in the morning, so, I mean, I was thinking you guys are on another day, too, because, I mean, he scheduled it. Those 2 hours, so we hit the 12-hour mark so you can schedule another episode, but no, we can't do that. But, I mean, there's so much things to talk about that you can't do in 2 hours on how to promote anything. Whether it's your reptile business, reptile radio show, anything. It takes time. It takes time and dedication. As I'm sure, Morgan, it takes dedication to do it. You got to be on top of things.
Yeah.
So
no slacking.
No, no slacking. I mean, I don't know how many times I have gone on and on, on Facebook and seen these past 2 weeks. I'm only able to go on Facebook through my phone, and that's only once I get off this mountain and into school. Be able to see, these messages coming in. What's going on with the radio show? I can't listen in. There's no shows this week. I'm telling people I'm sorry. There are times like this when maybe the power goes out. Can't do a show. What if your power went out right in the middle of the show?
Yeah, that happened to Morgan a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, the Gary show.
Happened.
Yeah.
Having the internet having to get hooked up because of a move. The phone and stuff like that. Cell phones don't work up here, so I had to get the house phone set up. So, things like this happen, and you just have to work through them, and you have to let your people know that, hey, this is why I'm not just quitting the show or anything. It's, there is there's a reason for this.
Yeah, there's always little dilemmas. I mean, it's perfectly fine to, have stuff that comes up.
Oh, yeah.
That's life.
Exactly. So, I mean, like I said, it's just, it is life. But doing a radio show is something that I love, something that is fun, something that I could do every day if I had the time. Well, let's rephrase it, something I'd be willing to do every day if I had the time.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know, I would do it, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week if I could. If it'd be my job, like Oprah Winfrey, and sit there on the show and go through everybody's problems and everything like that, talk to reptile people and be like, oh, well, the reason that, your gecko got sick because you put him on sand, you need to change this, get some reptile carpet, it looks natural. I could do that. I could be, do that like a toll-free call-in number for the aid of reptile people. I could do that. But I don't have the time or anything like that. But it would be something that I'm willing to do.
That's a good idea.
I would.
Oh, it's a good idea. I'd be getting random calls. Well, would you recommend mealworms or hornworms for this gecko?
I feel like if people had questions, they could just listen to the past episodes for the husbandry on those animals.
Oh yeah, and that's where you get it. People ask me all the time, what would you do, or do you know anything about this animal? I mean, if I have a show done about the animal they are asking about, I will give them the link, and I'll be like, hey, now if you want to, you can listen to this. See if this helps you. If it doesn't, come back, ask me again, and I'll help you out from there. Like I've seen you do, we have the crypto post about a week and a half ago. You posted the link in there, so people go on there. Listen to the show you did with Pat Klein about crypto.
Yeah.
Very smart move. It gets you. How many people commented on that? Hundred-something people commented on that. 100-something people got the notification that Morgan Beebe posted a comment, and it went to this link about crypto, and who knows how many views you got from that. So.
Yeah. Well, we're going to, I think we should end it there, and then we'll pick it up again. We'll do another show. We'll have to do another show.
Oh, definitely. Oh, yeah, I mean, so, maybe this time we'll go on my show, and we'll end it there, or who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we'll call into your show for part 2.
that sounds like a plan, man.
So thank you so much, Branyan, for coming on and talking to us about shows. I mean, there's a lot of really good information there if anybody's looking to start a new radio show, and I can't wait to do part 2 of this. So thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, no problem. It's definitely a fun topic and something that I could go on for days talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Very knowledgeable. At 16 years old, you got my respect, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Reptiles are just something that fell into my lap that I ended up liking more than I ever thought I would.
Yeah. And you'll go far.
Well, I don't plan on going as far as some people think, but I would like to do it. It's something cool. Not a full-time job of doing reptiles, but keeping it at a hobby level and still having the fun and success that I plan on having.
Yeah. That's why you're getting into the other type, and another reason I
know the success I can make with the common reptiles of leopard geckos. They're so prolific, so easy to care for. They don't require a lot of space. I know I can be successful in creating some cool things with that. But what about these other things that aren't so prolific, that won't breed every year, that will turn down 20 different mating companions because they haven't found the right one yet? I mean, that's the type of stuff I want to get into and see what I can do from there.
Yeah. No, definitely some cool stuff going on with that.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's, like I said, I've seen a lot of the subspecies and different things posted lately that they've always been posted, but more interest in that than just your standard leopard gecko, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
You're seeing a lot of interest being drawn towards that, and the market's always changing.
Yep, it is, and
it's always evolving.
It is, and there goes the phone. It's beeping. Tell me I have 3% left, just in time for the show to end. So, thank you, Morgan, for having me on. Awesome co-host Jeff, and
thanks for all your information.
It seems like the phone is about to die, so. I mean, it was an awesome show. We got in some cool stuff. I learned a little bit about you guys. You learned a little bit about me, and it was an awesome 2 hours to have.
Yeah. Now I got to tune into your radio show too. I don't think I've hit that one yet.
Yep. So,
all right.
I will talk to you later, guys.
All right. Sir.
All right.
Good night.
Good night. So what do you think, Morgan?
Yeah, he's got all of his ducks and chickens and geckos in a row, and 16 years old, and
amazing.
I don't think that I could. I don't think I could do school and radio show and all those exotic animals that he's that he had and now he's getting again.
At that age, when I was 16, I was I was probably causing trouble somewhere.
That's
chasing girls, catching waves.
Should have had a bunch of reptiles. I would have stayed out of trouble.
I had reptiles in trouble, but
I don't think that you can avoid trouble.
You got to try it, No, I don't condone it. Anyone out there listening?
No, trouble is bad.
Stay in school.
Stay in school. And don't get in trouble.
And don't get caught. I mean, never ever do bad stuff.
Jeez. So, geckos, what are you, you hatching out anything? Trying to save my reputation here, Jeff.
Yeah, it's just a little backpedaling. Actually, yeah, I have one hatching just right now. It's
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, from white and yellow to maxno fascio, and just the nose is peeking out. I've been running into, checking the cooker during the show. I had to run back in here and look at the cooker because I know they're due. You know how we get. Oh, they're due. I got to check it every 5 minutes or it won't work.
Yeah, I just got my second clutch of eggs today, so I'm not so behind anymore. I'm catching up with everybody.
It's not a race. I mean, they do what they do when they do it.
Yeah, I just wish it was sooner.
And how many breeding pairs you got going?
I think I'm trying to be realistic and not go for all of the breeding, so I'm trying to stick around like between 8 and 15. Yeah,
I just have 12 planned this year, and I got to keep it there. I got room for 100 babies, so I may even go over that. You know how they are.
Yeah. Do you ever videotape them hatching?
No, I'm not real techno savvy at all.
Yeah, I'd love to do that because I see people doing it, and it's just
no, that's like the neatest part of it. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's it's why we do it, to see what comes out. It's like opening the Christmas present. You stared at for under the tree for 2 months. I don't pick them up and rattle them or nothing like that. I don't even candle my eggs. I know a lot of people. How do you candle your eggs? I don't. I just put them in there and leave them alone.
Yeah. Yeah, I candle very, very few. Only if it's like a super special project and I can't keep myself from candling it or checking them all the time.
Yeah, and I look at them all the time, and if they're fuzzy, I tend to leave them in there for a while. No, it'll go away. Sometimes they hatch fine, and sometimes no, they don't.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of mildew-side and different things that people are starting to use, and I'm just curious of the effects on the hatchling inside the egg, since those eggs do actually breathe.
Yeah, it's a desiccant you're putting on there, and I'm not sure what the active ingredients, because I guess they like Dr. Scholl's foot powder they say use, or you can use or cornstarch or this or that. I would think maybe some of the natural stuff would be better, but I've never done it. It's like if they make it, they make it.
Yeah.
And it seems to always be that cool special project where you get that one egg that just doesn't, maybe it's the last one of the season. You go, I got to hit it with this one. And then it just, I had an air egg last year.
Really?
Yeah, there was nothing in it. It started getting big one day, and I'm thinking, and I never candled it or nothing. It started getting big one day, and then I come back home, and it's like popped. And I'm looking in the GEO. I'm looking all around, going, "What the heck?" Hatched a true ghost.
Yeah, right.
I looked all over the place, and no, that's the first time that's ever happened. It was just like I don't know. And I looked inside the eggshell. There was just like a little bit of like dried up yolk or something in there. And I didn't know they did that.
Yeah, I've never had that. Or at least I don't know if I ever had. I've had tons of rotten eggs and.
Or they collapse or something.
Yeah, those ones that collapse.
I always cut them open.
Yeah, that's
Just
I
to
like
see.
that part.
Yeah, it's the scientist inside me. I must dissect it.
Well, it's really cool to see, it looks like from that movie Aliens,
Yeah.
little monsters. They don't even look real when they're like half grown in there.
Yeah, they haven't developed all the way. They're just kind of like gecko larvae.
Yeah.
They didn't pupate. I mean, they didn't chrysalis. They turn into butterflies. Yeah, so have you got like different ideas now you want to try for your radio show to promote it different ways? And
well, I definitely like the idea of a coffee cup.
Yeah.
I know that sounds lame, but
I
really like
coffee every morning.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, if you're giving away, like, free coffee cups, people are going to say, I need that.
I want one.
Yeah. Yeah, see? And then you're going to look at it every morning and think of me.
Yeah. I guess that's a good thing. I don't. and then you put all your sponsors on there, and yeah. It's like I know these guys because I'm drinking the coffee from their cup.
That's one thing that I should have. I guess I'll ask him we'll have to go on his show, but if my sponsors are monthly, so if say I make a coffee cup with these sponsors on it, and then a couple people say, well, I don't want to sponsor next month, or there's a new person that says, oh, I want to sponsor, and I want you to put me on that coffee cup. That's hard to do once you got, a couple hundred coffee cups with these other people who aren't even your sponsors anymore.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think that just the, late night Leos, and then when they go to it, they'll see who all the current sponsors are. So.
Yeah.
That's another thing. We have super awesome news. I'm going to totally destroy this guy's last name. Glenn Siltgen, I think is his last name.
Glenn, yeah. Yeah, Glenn's a good guy. He talked to me about that phone thing he did, Android or whatever.
Yeah, that was amazing. He messaged me randomly, can I have permission to make an Android app for Late Night Leos? And, I was suspicious, of course, because he came on the show once, and I don't really know who he is beyond that. And, yeah, and it turned into a couple hours later, I was, after talking to him about it and how it works, he's like, okay, well, here it is, I was like, oh, that's totally awesome. So, yeah, if anybody's listening, there is since iPhone, we do have an iTunes account, so everyone with an iPhone gets Late Night Leos automatically. But for everybody with an Android or any kind of other smartphone, there is a Late Night Leos in the Google Play. I don't even know how that works, but if you have the phone, you probably do.
No, he told me about it, and I go, God, I don't know how any of that works. I go, hit up Morgan.
Yeah, he sent me screenshots. It's cool. I mean, his app is even better than iTunes because he linked it to our Facebook as well. So if you have the Late Night Leos app on Android, you now get all of our Facebook updates and our updates on Blog Talk Radio. So it's pretty interesting.
I don't know how any of that works. Like I say, I'm not a techno guy at all.
Yeah, me neither.
It's just, maybe a year ago I had my daughter show me how to upload the pictures from the camera to the computer. It's like, oh, look out, look out, Gecko World. I know how to do it now. I've been producing Leos way longer than I've been on Facebook or anything like that. I didn't even know what Facebook was really. I know my daughter was on it all the time, and she said, Dad, you got to go on Facebook. Yeah, whatever. I did all that, and then I got these different reptile groups and stuff, and it's like, hey, so it's like I'm addicted. I've only been on Facebook, I don't know, maybe a couple years.
Yeah.
But
it really takes your life away.
Yeah. No, I get on every morning. I drink my coffee.
Well, I used to get on in the morning anyway, and I check my my emails for my landscape business, and now I do that, and then I get on Facebook for a little bit, and I work for myself, so I really can't be late. I mean, I can. I got people waiting for me. It costs me money, but
you're on the clock. I just got to check my messages real quick.
Yeah, that's part of the reason I don't have a smartphone.
Yeah.
Be able to wait. I got to post this gecko pic.
or I got to chase this lizard that's running through this yard. Hang on, real quick. I got to post this.
Yeah. No, I chase any reptiles, frogs, anything where I'm out working. I run into stuff all the time, and I'll stop the mowers if there's a bunch of deer crossing or something, or I'll stop the blowers. I just one account where they have a big I don't know what you call, like a covey of turkeys or a gang of turkeys, or they got a whole bunch of turkeys.
A gaggle of goose.
Yeah, a gaggle of gookies or turkeys or something. But and I'll stop the blowers just because I'm watching them go through the yard.
Yeah,
I don't want to scare them off. They're cool.
Yeah,
I like all that stuff.
Wildlife is cool. That's just the other day I saw in my mom's driveway while it was raining, and there was a Pacific giant salamander like treading water in the gutter. You know, like waiting for a fish. You know, obviously it's obviously it's a gutter, so it's not going to get anything. But he was still trying. You know, had his mouth wide open.
Is that right? Yeah, we get those. Yeah. What are they? The red California red. Yeah, no, red belly newts or whatever they are.
Yeah.
We get them in the streams around here, and then when I get down to the bottom of the firewood, there's these other salamander newt things that come up when it rains, and they're like spotted. I don't even know what they are. I'll get a picture of them next time and throw them up on one of them field chirping groups.
Yeah, definitely.
They're cool stuff. A flock of turkeys, Brooke says.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, I think all birds are flocks, but...
No, it's a murder of crows, a gaggle of geese. Don't get me started. A gang of kangaroos. Oh, wait, those aren't birds. A school of chickens. No, those are fish. But yeah.
So you got any more news or?
I seen some bald eagles over here by Paradise Lake the other day.
Oh, nice! Really?
Yeah, there's some that hang out there. I see them like certain times a year. No, I was driving back up and it was kind of clearing, and so what's up in the sky there? I pulled over and was checking them out for a little bit. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, those are. Hopefully they'll make a comeback. I know they're pretty endangered right now.
There's some over there by Shasta, or
there's actually a group in Eureka right now.
Yeah.
And it's so rare that there's a website. I don't know what it is. Sorry, people listening. But they have the Eagle Cam. They have cameras in the net.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, and they ask people that if you spot them, because there is like a Facebook page. I don't know what it's called, but they ask if you spot them, don't go on Facebook and say, "Oh, I saw them over here." You know, there's poaching is. I mean, people say, "Oh, it's bad in Africa and South America," but you give somebody $200,000, they're gonna go get that eagle for you. You know.
Yeah. No, it's sad.
Yeah, it's terrible. And I've seen them flying. I won't say where, but they're enormous animals. They're huge. And
they're huge. And when you see them, it's like there's no doubt because you see the white head on them.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what they are right away.
Yeah.
But
it's the biggest animal up here in the sky besides us. Yeah.
You get the big turkey buzzards up there too? Turkey vultures, whatever they call them?
Yeah, we do get the vultures. But the eagles here are larger than what our little vultures are.
Yeah. Yeah, we hit some pretty big vultures here with, like, I don't know, 6-foot wingspans, which is it's huge. If you I mean, they don't look that big when they're up in the sky, but if you go if you walk by, I know where a bunch of them hang out over here, and I always throw my dead gophers and moles to them because I trap those in people's lawns.
Yeah.
I don't want them to go to waste, so I throw them to them. I know where a group of them hang out, and then they're really cool animals.
Oh, yeah. Well, they do their job, too, you know? I mean, imagine all the dead deer and fish and all that rotting around.
Yeah, they clean up all the stuff. And if you get too close to them, they regurgitate on you.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's nasty smelling, too.
How close did you get?
Oh, I've got, well, too close, obviously, if I know that.
They don't, like, projectile vomit on you, do they?
Yeah, kind of. But from the air, they're pretty good aims. One hit me on the arm. But I've gotten pretty close. There's a couple that know my truck because I go down this one road where they're at, and they see the truck, and they like spruce right. You know, they wake right up. They're looking at me, which is kind of cool. I've gotten, I don't know, maybe arm's length. And I just sit there real still, and I hold out a dead mole in my hand, and they hop. You know how they hop?
Yeah.
It's just really cool how they move. But
awesome.
I've had them get real close to taking it out of my hand. They haven't taken it out of my hand yet, but gotten real close. I end up dropping it and backing up.
Yeah.
But and then I don't want them to get too used to humans either.
Yeah.
You know,
then they follow you home.
No, you get kind of a bond with them. I don't know. I do anyway.
Yeah.
Then I have there's crows, and then there's those Stellar jays or blue jays or whatever.
Yeah.
They come around. Certain time of year, they come around and they see me out there, and they talk to me, and I come in the house and get the peanuts and throw them out there for them. I don't know. I'm one of them critter lover guys. The guy's weird, man. He's out there talking to birds and stuff. What's wrong with that guy?
Somebody has to.
No, I do too. Deer come in my yard. They eat my tomatoes, and I just sit there and watch them. I mean, they got people in their yard.
Yeah. Exactly.
Deer don't come in my yard. They have people in theirs. So, I mean, that's kind of how I look at it. It's just got to, they let me live in their yard, so they can have some of my tomatoes.
You didn't plant your garden in your front yard. You planted it in their front yard.
Yeah, and it just happens to be along their migrating path.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I look at it, yeah. And then I got alligator lizards that live in my garage.
Oh, really? What kind? Do you you've probably got? You have the northwestern, right?
Yeah, they're not the Shasta ones. Those ones are cool.
Yeah.
They're the alligator lizards. They're skinks.
Yeah, there's so many. I always see that on the local Craigslist, because we've got tons of the northwestern ones here, and they look just like blue-tongue skinks, but they don't have a blue tongue, obviously. But
yeah,
they're pretty cool.
Yeah, they don't. Have you seen the Shasta ones? Or Shastinian or whatever? They keep that stripe down their back, like when these regular ones hatch, when they're real young, they have almost a gold stripe down their back. And then as they grow, they get the patterns on them.
I don't think I've seen those. The only ones I've seen around here at my shop, there's this you know the old black rubber flange at the bottom of your garage doors that they used to have?
Yeah.
They when I lift up the garage door, there's always one if it's a really hot day, because the black rubber is just like sitting under there soaking it up.
Yeah.
But ours are more the banded ones.
Yeah, that's kind of what we have here, the banded.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got I got a freezer out in the garage, and there's one that lives under there. He probably likes the motor or something.
Yeah, the warmth under it.
Yeah, and then I'll go out there sometimes, and he'll be peeking his head out, or I've caught him in the windowsill when, like, there's bees or flies or something up there. I go out early in the morning, and they're cruising for goodies. So I'll go out there and put super worms by the freezer and watch them come out and eat them, or mealworms.
That's a good idea. I never thought about that.
No, it's cool. They come out and grab them and run back under there. They're my outside pets. And then I got to keep the cats out of the garage because they know they're in there.
Yeah, you know that the alligator lizard tail is it's like a drug for cats. My cat used to eat those, and she'd be stoned for days.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. There's something in it. It just really, really messes up animals. It must be part of their like defense mechanism. You know, they drop their tail, the animal eats the tail, gets wasted, and then the lizard gets away.
Well, I didn't know that. I know mine.
Yeah.
They'll play with the lizard. Well, they'll catch a lizard and it'll drop its tail, and then they'll play with the tail for a while until it quits wiggling, and then they get like a disappointed look on their face. My balloon got away.
Well, if they ever do happen to eat one, pay attention to your cat.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, they act weird all the time anyway, but
they've already found the lizard tail.
Yeah. Must have got another lizard tail. He's acting weird again. No, we have two outside cats, and then there's two that are inside. But, yeah, the outside cats are always, I don't know, they bring them in the house to me. Look what I got.
A present for you.
And then they're always catching them little, I don't know, they look like finches. They're some kind of small foraging bird.
Yeah. I don't know what those are.
Yeah, I think they are a finch. They just, a certain time of year, there's a bunch of them around.
Yeah.
And, yeah, the two outside cats, one's just too fat, the other ones get too old to mess with them. But we had a Maine Coon that used to bring us all kinds of stuff. He was pretty neat.
Yeah, I like presents that they bring.
Yeah.
Like, oh God, I haven't seen one of those in years.
Yeah.
Is that really a 5-foot garter snake?
Oh yeah, we got those around here too.
Yeah, we got those.
The ribbon snake, and then like I don't know, I call them checkered garters. I don't know the right name for them.
Yeah, we only have the coastal ones.
The striped ones?
Yeah, the striped down the back. But I have noticed that I know where there's a really, really cool, it looks like a really blushy red on the sides of them. And I haven't found them on the California Herp website.
Yeah, we get a few of those too. I don't know, ribbon snakes they call them.
Yeah.
But they have like big red blotches on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen, I don't know, there's one of those sites they were showing them. And then they have albino garter snakes now.
Yeah. I wonder how many of those are in the wild.
I don't know. I thought I saw one down here. Yeah, one day, and because when I go down to the river and swim around and cool off or whatever, and I always hike around to, all over. I've even brought mealworms down there and put them on the rocks for the bluebellies. But yeah, I hike around, and one day I just seen the tail of the snake, and it went into a bunch of rocks, went under the rocks, and it came out of the water, but it looked white. And I check there every time I go down there now, and I haven't seen it again. But
that's
pretty
cool.
Yeah, no, and I mean it was white like your, I don't know, like a leucistic ball python or something. It wasn't like the clear albino. I think I seen somebody posted an albino garter snake.
Oh, where you can still see the pattern and stuff? Yeah,
I think Yvonne had one posted. I think that's who it was. But yeah, this thing was white. It looked like a white tail, and it went under the rock so quick that I wasn't sure if it was like the end of the shed. You know how they like taking a sock off or something. But it went under the rock so quick that I couldn't really tell. I just kind of seen it out of the corner of my eye. And I was, just kind of hiking around, checking it out, looking for gold chunks.
Well, there it went. Your gold chunk slithered under that rock.
Yeah. No, the rock was too big to move, and I didn't want to anyway to crush it or something.
Yeah, that would have... I mean, if you would have looked at, if its eyes were solid black, you'd know it was leucistic.
Yeah. No, it would have been cool.
Yeah.
No.
No, it's like not wild caught at all.
And who knows what, people have released around here. I seen a red diamondback up here, and they're not native to this area at all.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of the native morphs that they're finding is a lot of stuff that people are, because everything's in the hobby right now. Yeah. And everything's got morphs. And then they release it, some kid can't keep it, and so he releases it because, there's other garter snakes around.
Yeah, or someone's protecting their garden, or I think that's the case with the red diamondback I've seen. I've seen one pretty darn big one, and I've seen it a few years in a row. And every time I go there with a camera and take a picture of it, it's not there. Or I'll see it and I'll get the camera up, and someone will come by on a dirt bike and it'll go into this little crevice. It's like, dang it! But they're kind of territorial from what I've seen. This one, and I've seen a smaller one. I'm not sure if it's red diamondback or if it mated with the Pacifica, or because I guess they'll crossbreed the rubrum, or so I don't know. But I did see a smaller one this past summer in the a little ways down from that area. So I'm not, and I know there's different color phases too for the I guess they're Pacificas. There's another name for them, Crotalus something or rather is. But no, it's just, I don't know. I always hike around and look at all that. Anything that moves, I'll check it out.
Yeah. I used to do that. I'd like to do it more.
Yeah, you got nice area there. There's all kinds of stuff that. Where was it? Oh, like where College Beach is, right? Where you're at.
College Cove?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. That trail with all the steps that goes down to it?
No.
Oh, you're not a beach person?
I've never... Isn't that a nude beach?
No, I don't think so. It wasn't nude when I was there.
Maybe it was too cold out.
No, it was in the middle of... It was nice out, actually. But now I was walking down that path, and I seen an alligator lizard, and it had like a greenish color to it. Have you seen
really?
the different color phases? If you go by the rivers or like by the beach, there are different color phases and stuff. Or if you go higher up in the hill, there's different color phases of them. Yeah.
I've looked on CaliforniaHerps.com. They've got, people go on, and I guess you can make an account to post different phases or locales, and there's just loads of different kinds.
Yeah. Oh, and I gave it away too. You're not supposed to say where you see stuff.
Yeah. You're not supposed to say. Oh, God. Oh, yeah. You did.
Yeah, the other college town thing.
Yeah. Nobody local listens to this anyway.
Yeah, I know.
Well, Andy Grossman. He's up here. Pets at Sunset. Yeah, he does a lot of ball python stuff. So.
Oh yeah.
Andy, don't go looking for that stuff.
Yeah.
It's not there. That was years ago.
You'll probably get all these messages. I want a green one. I've been searching high and low. $10,000. No, they're pretty good. That's a common thing. I wouldn't worry too much about them. But I've noticed I've noticed different color phases, different locales, which is really, really cool. It almost looks like an entirely different species or subspecies or something, but it's, who knows, it might be a subspecies. They found, LA or something, they found different species of legless lizards or something.
Oh, really?
By some airport. I don't know. It was a while ago I heard this.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's like, really, in LA? Surprised anything can live. There's probably mutations from, like, I don't know, San Onofre or something. Oh, that's one county, but it's got to be smog related.
Yeah, there's I don't know if, does that affect things? Chemicals must affect color mutations, you know.
Oh, I'm sure.
That's how Spider-Man, that's how it works.
Yeah, no, they do these. What was that? There's a moth that because all the pollutants in the air, it turned the trees a different color, so it's camouflaged now as a different color. They've done studies on. Oh yeah. Yeah, everything we do affects nature. Is going to evolve to. I mean, it's been around probably through a lot worse than we're doing. Well, maybe not, but it's going to evolve.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know. I think that the northwestern alligator lizard, any of the alligator lizards, there's more of a, I don't know if it's so much of a chance for more color mutations in the wild because they're live bearing. So, there's no eggs that need to incubate. They just pop out and start eating.
Some alligator lizards lay eggs.
Do they really?
Yeah. In fact, that was the first reptile egg I ever hatched was alligator lizard eggs. This was in Southern California. Yeah.
Oh. So they must be a species or subspecies of mine, or a cousin, or.
Yeah. God, I don't know how any of that works.
I know there's like 3 subspecies of them.
Yeah, I'm sure. And then like what were those? Horned toads, I think. Some have live young and some lay eggs or something. I could be totally off on that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, and then I'm trying to think. There's something else that some lay eggs and some are oviparous and some are viviparous, or however you say it. Egg layers and live bearers.
Yeah, I don't know the technical terms.
Yeah, but chameleons, like Jackson chameleons, have live young.
Yeah.
And then others lay, like panthers lay eggs, I think. I don't.
Yeah. Someone was saying they're like 180 days to incubate or something.
Is that right?
It was on the show with Dennis. I forget what the.
Yeah. Those are the panther chameleons, I think he was saying.
Yeah. It was 180 or 300 days or something. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. That's like Ackies take a long time to hatch too. Yellow spiny tail monitors, or whatever you call them. Ackies.
Ackies. Red or yellow Ackies.
Yeah, the yellow ones. No, they take a long time too. I got a friend up here that's messing with those. They really need animals. They just take up some real estate.
How much real estate do they take up? I think John from GECKO Boa has them in horse troughs.
Yeah, he's working on some too. He's got some big area. Yeah, well, I mean, you figure a horse trough takes up how much area, whereas how many?
4 by 2 by 2.
Yeah, it was like I don't know, maybe like a sheet of plywood, 4 by 8, 4 by 2 by 2. Yeah, but how many leopard geckos can you put in that same area? You know?
I don't know. I guess that since I live alone, I don't really consider what other people want to look at in the house.
Oh,
you know? I could just mount a 4 by 2 by 2 on my wall, and I really wouldn't care.
Yeah, huh? I wouldn't either, but I wouldn't get away with it. I have a room that I have, and then I have a gopher snake and another thing out here in the computer room. It's kind of our den computer room thing, but the geckos are all in one room.
Yeah.
And that's all I get. And I want to make it bigger.
Do you have any special enclosures for the geckos, or do you do any of the planted stuff? Or
no, I don't. I still have one big. Well, it's actually 2 aquariums because it's split up into. I got a section down the middle that that splits it. It's a big, I don't know, 100-gallon, or I don't know. It's huge. That I have a couple retired breeders in there, pet only, on each side of the split.
Yeah.
That I have that I didn't. I don't know. I kind of messed around with. I wanted to make it natural, and then I looked at different ways to do it, and then I don't know. It's pretty basic. They got cool hides and stuff. Just rock hides that I gathered rock and put hides, but I don't put a whole lot into it. But I used to do all kinds of different vivariums, semi-aquatics, and I had the green anoles, anoles, however you want to say it. Yeah, I had some really cool setups with those, with different plants and stuff, and made a little pond, little waterfall thing. This is before they had all the kits you could buy to make them.
Yeah, when you had to engineer it yourself.
Yeah. So I just incorporated some of the, fish pond power head that I had, for the fish tanks. Made a little power head that went up to the rocks, and if the water got too low, it just made noises. I really had to build up one side to get it to work real cool.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
And I used to do all of that. I've had everything. I mean, caiman alligators.
Wow.
Years ago, when you could still buy them at Kmart or whatever.
At Walmart. Walmart never has animals anymore. At least mine don't around here.
Ours has goldfish, and it has some tropical fish and stuff.
Jeez. Yeah, when
Chico.
Yeah, 2005, because I did a whole lot of aquarium stuff all through high school. Walmart in Crescent City actually had it was a dragon fish. It was almost like a snake dragon, like an eel, but it was freshwater. I forget what it's called, but I would have loved to get something like that.
No, I mess with the fish tanks too. I did tropical guppies for a long time.
Yeah.
When the kids were real young, I messed around with those. I did. I've had Oscars. What are those other ones? Nampsies.
Platies?
Cichlids. Yeah, I had platies. Neon tetras. Plus Cosimus, or whatever you call them. I had those.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of that. I even had goldfish that bred and laid their eggs on the plants, and then I took them out and raised a little goldfish. I don't know, the little goldfish larvae things, pollywog goldfish things. No, that was when I was in high school. I bought, I don't know, male and a female comet, I guess they called them, and I had a big fish tank out in the garage, and I read up on them on, I don't know, some tropical fish thing, and they laid eggs, and I separated them and did all that stuff. Same with the beta, the Siamese fighting fish. I got a male, and then I thought, what do the females look like? So I went and got one of those, and they're kind of bland, but it's really cool. If I remember right, the male blows bubbles up on the surface, and puts the eggs in them. I think that's how that worked. I don't know. It was a long time ago, but I did those, which was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to do it again. Do fish, and I love planted tanks. That was...
Yeah. And then you get snails real bad. For aquatic plants, yeah. I always got the snail, those, I don't know, little black snails, and then they clog up all the filters and everything, eat all the plants.
Yeah. I don't know. I was pretty good about going through and picking them off, but yeah, if you don't go through almost every day and pick those things, then in about a week or a month, you just got apocalypse snail going on.
Yeah, it's a total blackout. No, I did all those. I liked all that kind of stuff. I had raised tadpoles into frogs, and
I did that outside.
I lived by Miles Square Park down in Southern California, and I'd go over there and catch crawdads, and I had them in a fish tank. And then that was really cool.
Yeah, that's probably my first. That would probably be my first ever breeding experience. Was third grade. We raised crawdads in the classroom, and so everybody got to take a baby home because, of course, the teacher's probably thinking, "What am I going to do with like 40 crawdads?"
Oh yeah.
So yeah, but mine must have been pregnant because she had like a couple hundred babies. It was just flooded with all these. It was ridiculous.
They hang out on their belly or something.
The mother.
Oh, cool.
She must have mated before I even took her home, because it was months after that when she had all these babies.
Or maybe they're asexual or something. Maybe they just, like a worm. They just.
I wish the chat room was filled with more people that knew about crawdads.
I know, huh? Come on.
Or somebody call in if you could, but you can't. Brooke is making faces because she's the only one in there.
No, we got to get more people in their chat room. No, I walked away from the computer. I took my glasses off because I've been wearing them for hours now. But I walked away from the computer, so hate crawdads.
Yeah.
Crawfish, shellfish. They're pretty good.
Yeah, whatever they're called. I have been looking into aquaponics and stuff like that, and people are using crawdads, crawfish, whatever you call them, freshwater lobster. But
Langostino.
Apparently they're super territorial.
Yeah, and up here they have, like Butte County's major export is rice, and the water always has to be flowing, so they have to terrace it. Apparently, the crawdads are getting into the dams, I guess, for lack of better words, that keep the water terrace, and they're putting holes in it so the water's not, it's flowing too fast or whatever. And it's all organic rice, so they can't use any poisons or, you know, they have to go to other means. So it's a big problem for the rice farmers up here.
I wonder if they just harvest them, you know? I
guess certain people, well, from one of the guys that I talked to, he said certain people go around and collect them. And they actually eat them because the water there, they test the water all the time and everything too. So they have certain people collect them, but they just breed so quick that, you know, and then you got people walking around your rice fields or whatever. And I mean, I don't know if you've probably seen, if you drove through here, Butte County or like Colusa or all that, it's just miles and miles of rice fields. Rice paddies. Yeah, no, it's like one of the major exports up here. They sell rice to China.
Oh, God.
It's serious. But yeah, so it's I don't know, those kind of little stories always catch my eye. It's not like it's front page in a newspaper, although it could be up here. It could be in a small town here. Yeah. I mean, you know, if you go to like Orange County or LA, if you see somebody get shot or something in newspapers, it happens every day, you know. Up here, it's like major front page news, and you'll get front page up here if you get a DUI or DWI now.
W's now.
Yeah. The small town newspaper. Ain't B made another batch of pickles.
Uncle Ned lost his keys.
Yeah. No, that kind of stuff makes it in the paper. No, when I moved up here, it's like I picked up, I don't know, I think it's called the Paradise Post. I picked it up and I'm reading it. I go, what? Which is, it's kind of, it's grown a lot since I moved up here. We moved up here in 2000, but I was, in fact, when we moved into the place, the lady next door came over and brought us a pie, which in a big city, if somebody does that, you think they're trying to rip you off. And I was, you know, I was still on my guard, you know, because growing up down there, everybody's trying to run a game or something, and this nice old lady with a old lady, cool little, you know, the hats they wear, little cool hat, comes over with a pie in her hand. Welcome to the neighborhood. And it's like, whoa. I was kind of blown away. I mean, it was cool, but I was still going, well, what's the catch, man? You trying to kill me?
Take my money. I don't want. Let me live.
And she was the nicest lady too. She was our next door neighbor. She used to come over. We'd go outside, and there'd be something sitting on our porch, and it was like, I don't know, a bag of potatoes or just weird stuff. And it doesn't happen down in Southern California. You go out on your porch and your UPS package was stolen, you know. You know, you go out there and your mailbox is gone.
or on your yard.
Yeah. But no, it was really weird getting used to it up here. You know, I still have my guard up with people because, you know, I grew up down there, and, you know, in the jungle, the zoo.
The concrete jungle?
Yeah, it's just a different way of life, man.
Yeah.
Survival down there. Up here, it's more like life. Sure is. People get shot out in front of your place. Now, when we lived down there, we lived in Anaheim. Anacrime, I called it. But where we lived, there was one gang on the side of the street we lived on, and another gang on the other side of the street. I guess it divided east and west or whatever it is. I don't know. I didn't keep track of all that, but and
you were on the equator.
Yeah, we're right there on the border, and no man's land. No, I used to get stopped all the time. What's a white boy doing in this neighborhood? Serious, I'd be walking to my apartment and the cop would stop me. But no, they used to fight over this little park there as their turf or whatever. You know, people getting stabbed, shot, all kinds of stuff. It's like a weekly occurrence. We just sit on the porch and watch it all go on.
Yeah, it's crazy down there.
Yeah, and you kind of get desensitized to it after a while, you know.
Yeah, going down to Simi Valley. We stopped in Oakland for a bathroom break, and just in the time of getting out of the car, someone got shot in down the street. And then you hear the mother, like, you know, you shot my baby, and then you hear more gunshots and nothing. So we got back in the Jeep and left.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
It's another day in the neighborhood. Don't you be my neighbor.
Yeah.
No,
but Eureka's getting really bad. We're back up to the #1 crime city per capita in California now.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
10 years ago, we were #1 in the U.S. per capita, most crime. And there's 28,606 people here. So that's 28,000 of them are criminals.
Yeah, well, I know you're right there smack dab in the middle of the Emerald Triangle, and Humboldt County's known that, so I'm sure a lot of it has to do with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we won't talk about that on the show, though, because I don't want to get whacked.
Well, no, it's, I don't know anything about any of that. But,
right. Geckos.
Late night wackos. No, but God, everybody knows that anyway. You go anywhere in Northern California and everybody knows. But here it's crazy here.
Yeah. I think it's just turning crazy everywhere.
It is. I blame it on rap music on video games.
Yeah.
No, more people need hobbies, man. You know, you should be in the gecko room cleaning bins and stuff instead of doing weird stuff.
Yeah, or hiking instead of hiking out to your crop, you know?
Yeah. The only camping's going on is the people watchdogging their crops.
That's terrible.
No, you got to be careful where you hike anymore, and it shouldn't be that way.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be careful anyway, but it's just a new thing you have to look out for now.
Yeah, we've got this new group called the Humboldt Hikers, and they're really, really nice people. And where I live, the redwoods right around here, they're turning it into a community forest. And I mean, the growers and the dealers pretty much control the woods around here because it's secluded and there's roads and these hikers want to go out there. And I told them, check the news because just last year 3 bodies were found back there. So
just be careful where you go.
And I think that's a good thing to practice no matter what you're doing. What if you're out in the woods and you get bit by a rattlesnake? You should always take a friend with you anytime.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Everybody thinks they're invisible, but I saw Cabin Fever and The Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah. No,